back to the IMNerd podcast. I'm your host, Frazier. I'm here with my amazing co-host, Kenny.
Hello.
And today we are going to be doing Solo Leveling Season 2, which is one of the most requested podcasts from us. A lot of people love this anime, and rightfully so. I think it's a fantastic anime. It is very, very, very dope. The animation's great. The main character is like very, very godly, and all the other characters don't matter. So there's a lot that happened in Season 2. It's also blatantly has a section of it that is it's inspired by Hunter x Hunter's Chimera and arc, clearly. Like,
listen, I wasn't going to say anything.
What? How could you not, Kenny? We both have Hunter x Hunter in our top 5
because I was watching it and I was like, "How is this not the Chimera Ant arc?"
It is literally the same thing, though. Like it even.
I wasn't going to say anything. I was going to just be like, you know what? I'm going to just leave it as it is.
Queen Ant is literally feeding other powerful life forms to her fucking son, who becomes the strongest ant that ever was. This ant is so outrageously powerful for no reason that no other hunter in the world.
Black Air Force ant.
Black Air Force ant. No other hunter in the world can take it. But that's at the end of the arc.
That's episode. Is that episode 11 or 12
like
or
10, 11, 12, I think, are like, Black Ant energy, Black Air Force ant energy. Biru, I think is his name. Very close to Beerus. This season had a lot of things in it. I actually made some notes today because I watched a video that was like a recap, because I watched this back when it aired. And so it's been months now, actually. But you have a lot of things. So you have him going to a red portal again, fighting the ice elves. He ends up getting like 2 new spirits. He arises a bear, like a polar bear, and he arises a human that becomes iron. That part is really ridiculous.
I don't know, like 7 episodes later, right? I forget what episode it was, but it was just like episodes later, and he like called Iron out again. Yeah, he's been using them all season.
Yes,
but there was just like an episode where he used them, and I started laughing to myself because I was like, "That's a guy.
That's a person that existed."
I was like, all of his other summons are like
demons
just
and ghouls.
monsters.
Yeah,
and so when he summoned Iron again. And he done it a billion times, but for whatever reason, this one time I just was laughing so hard. I was like, "That's just a guy."
One time he summoned Iron, Iron came out yelling, and he was like, "Yo, stop fucking yelling!" And Iron got like sad. And he was like, "I'll let you play, but like you gotta stop with the yelling, bro. Like you come out and Iron just starts. He's like, like just wilding the fuck out. He comes out. The guy was an asshole too, though. The guy that became Iron was an asshole, so I get it. But I just want to kind of like give an overarching what we're going to talk about this podcast, and then we can kind of dive into different aspects of the season. So, like I said, Encounter with the Ice Elf, I thought that was fantastic. I loved his outfit during that whole arc. He gets reevaluated to S rank, and the machine can't actually like read his rating. That's a big part of this season. His father's introduced as a character. His father's obviously fucking god tier broken. He's introduced in handcuffs, but then like later on, he clearly like those handcuffs never fucking mattered. He goes to the demon world a couple times during the season. He farms the demon world. Like he pretty much no contest everything that he fights. He ends up in front of the S rank chamber, like in the one portal, and the girl who's in S rank, like she's really, really broken. They say that she can't be sensed. She like sees him in front of the boss chamber. She's like, "What are you doing here? You're fucking like D rank hunter. You shouldn't be in front of this." And he lies, obviously, but she's like, "I swore I just saw a weapon in your hand. And also I can smell you and you don't smell bad. Every other man smells pretty bad to me, but you smell good." There's also like him saving all of those hunters from dying. When those orcs are attacking, he goes like, does his stealth mode thing that he can do. But the mages are like, I hope you don't think that we're so weak that we couldn't recognize you using a skill like stealth. Like we could clearly see you fucking blitzing all the orcs around and cutting their kneecaps out so that we could beat them when we had no business winning that fight. That was a really big one. I like that the mages are like, yeah, we might not be as strong as you, obviously, but like we can tell that you're using a skill that is making you invisible. We could see you. So that was like a really cool thing, just like world building, stuff like that. The King Orc, Carl, like who was just a rant and just like absolutely wilding the fuck out.
Oh, Carl?
Yeah, his name's Carl. His name's like Carl Logan or something, but like just Carl for short. I mean, the first 4 letters of his name are literally Karl.
I couldn't understand what the fuck he was saying.
Yeah, he was loud, obnoxious. But he got, he was about to kill everybody. He started treating the one captain of the A rank group. He was like slamming him up and down, up and down, up and down, breaking all his bones and beating that guy to death. And then eventually Sung Jinwoo stepped in and was like, all right, I got to stop this. I have to actually reveal myself as being the god that I am. That happens. Goes to the demon world, defeats the demon king. Can't get the demon king because he's a demon, but he can get the demon king's mount, which is a fucking dragon, a wyvern. So he gets a new mount. Resurrects his mom happens this season. I didn't know that was ever going to happen. I thought that this whole cure, this immortality or the elixir of life, I thought that was like bullshit. And I thought that there would be like repercussions for even using it. Like I thought that when his mom came back, she'd be like a demon or something, right? Like just something wrong.
She back here.
She's just back. And I don't know if that's the end of that arc, but I was very surprised that it didn't just go terribly wrong. Like at the end of the arc, maybe the very last episode, they go back to his mom and like she's cleaning the house and she just falls down and black energy starts coming out of her body or some shit. She's like, oh, Sung, something like that. But none of that happened. None of that cliche shit happened. Other cliche things happened, but not that. So yeah, resurrects his mom. Multiple guilds try to recruit him all season, including the president, who looks really fucking dope. Like the president of the Hunter Association, that guy.
Yeah.
He looks amazing. He's like diesel as fuck. Oh, I thought you were about to say something. Sorry. And then like,
oh no, my bad. Oh yeah. No, I was going to say something, but then I was like, I'm just going to let him keep talking.
Yeah, I got a couple.
All I was going to say was that he reminds me, not that he's really similar at all, because I don't think he's similar at all. Although he might have the same voice actor. I didn't look it up, but he reminds me of Fuhrer King Bradley.
Yes, actually, I can see that. I can see that hardcore. Yep, he definitely has that kind of demeanor about him. Very powerful. You can tell he's powerful by just looking at him. You don't need to like see him fight. You don't need to see him do anything. You don't need to see his aura. You just know he's powerful. Sung declines pretty much every single guild that tries to do anything with him the entire season. He also kind of low-key disrespects a couple of them, like the one S-rank.
I don't think it's low-key at all. I don't know. Low-key was low-key.
Yeah, especially for Asian culture, because like the one guy with the red hair, the one S-rank leader, he's very powerful. He like is the master of flame magic, and I like that character. Like I think he's a cool character. But he got a reality check multiple times in the season when he asked that one guy like, "How powerful is Sung?" And he's like, "Well, I don't know how to really answer that, but I will say one time I watched him go into a portal by himself and like completely solo and clear it. And he was like, all right, I'm asking you another question since you seem to be beating around the bush. Do you think that I could do that exact same thing?" And he was just like, no, sir, I don't think you could have cleared that dungeon. So like, not only can Sung clear.
He asked him, he was like, yeah, he cleared the dungeon, solo, the name. He was like, do you think you'd solo clear a dungeon? No tanks, no front line, no healers, just you.
Just you by yourself, like solo, like just you and your flame magic. Going into an S-rank dungeon, do you think you could clear it by yourself? And he's like, reality check, absolutely can't. But there was one part where after Sung got rated as an S-rank, that guy was like right there. And as Sung was walking out, he tried to speak to him. It was like, hey, I wanted to talk to you. And Sung just walks past him. He's just like, I don't have time for this. I don't want the publicity. I don't really like the publicity. I don't want to be famous. That's the whole reason why I've been hiding myself this entire time. So that happens. And then like the Japanese S-rank hunters come in towards the end of the season because they're going to do this raid on Jeju Island, like the 4th raid or some shit like that. So the Japanese show up and they're very condescending. They just feel like they are stronger than the...
Shout out to Korea, Japan, and China in real life not liking each other.
Yeah.
Just shout out to that because it was so funny. It is so clear that the Japanese are written to be unlikable.
Yes.
Like they're written and it's funny because we're watching an anime and clearly this was a Korean manhwa, was made in Korea.
Right.
But we're watching an anime and for most of us, anime means Japanese, right? It's tied to Japan.
Yeah.
And most of the times when you're watching an anime, a lot of the times the setting is Japan. So it was just really funny to watch this anime and for the Japanese, especially like the leader of their guild, to be so blatantly unlikable and them just like, I don't know, it's just funny because it was so clear. It's like, yeah, Korea, they still don't fuck with Japan.
Not only that, the way that leader got treated in the season, you could tell that like it was personal, right? Like he got fucking zero diffed by Biru at the end. I think he got his head ripped off. So Japanese hunters, Japanese S-ranks come in, they're condescending. Sung Jin-woo gets into a fight with the guy. The guy actually does manage to like scratch him or whatever, but then Sung starts to turn up, and immediately as soon as Sung starts to activate for real, the fight gets cut short, of course, because Sung could literally just kill everybody and there's zero diff by that point. They introduced Thomas Andre or Anders or whatever.
Yeah, All Might.
Literally All Might. He's the strongest hunter from the US specifically. He's one of the 5 great national hunters. So national hunters are above S rank. And we also saw another one at the very end of the season who like there was a group of flying chimera ants coming towards the mainland, and this guy just like pulled out his 2 blades from the back and just did like an X formation slash thing into the air, and it just went out and killed probably 1,000 chimera ant or things, whatever.
That was China.
Yeah, okay, that was China, yeah. So they have their own. So there's like 5 great national hunters. Thomas Anders is one of them. I forget the name of that guy. They do give you his name. But clearly there's a rank above S. And I guess this means that these are people that can take out like an entire country or continent because they're just that powerful. Like they're so above S ranks. Like S ranks are broken, but these guys are like otherworldly. And I guess that this makes sense because Sung Jin-woo has already surpassed literally every S rank we've ever seen in the show so far. The only characters who you're not sure he's stronger than is like those weird guys who are blue, like the one demon looking dude that just appeared in the season and like,
oh yeah, at the end, like I think it was like the last episode or the episode before the last.
Yeah, they like appear and they just kind of talk. You could tell they're powerful. You could tell they're otherworldly.
I mean, they open a gate. It's not clear whether or not they just use gates to travel or if they're the cause of all. Well, the one guy says like, I'm going to send them on a hunt. So he like opens a gate and he like opens a gate to leave through and he closes the gate. And then before that, he says like I already have their next hunt set up. And then there's like the gate that ends up opening on the highway.
Yeah. So they're very powerful, clearly. And then National Hunters now are above S rank. So that's something else for Sung Jin-woo to surpass in the next season, I guess. So then it ends off with the whole Chimera Ant arc. You know, the queen gets taken out. She does a huge scream. In comes Biru, who's pissed off that his mother got killed. He comes and eats his mom. And then he starts killing all the S rank hunters and just asking them questions like, are you the leader? You know, whoever says yes, obviously just gets killed. And whoever says no, obviously just gets killed. And that's just kind of where the arc ends with Sung Jin-woo coming in. They do have a fight, if you want to call it that, and like Sung just zero diffs him like he does everybody else.
You want to call it that?
Yeah, like I was like, I mean, it was one episode and great animation, beautiful gowns, but like Biru didn't do anything, so he just got beat like everybody else. Okay, so that's like the season, right? So now we can just freely talk about any point, and I do kind of want to start from the beginning because we left off season 1. He becomes the Shadow Monarch. He ends up with Igris or Igris. I think that's still like the coolest summon. That summon is so fucking awesome to me. I love the sword that it has.
He's the man.
Reminds me of Nightmare from Soul Calibur.
Yeah. I mean, he's not as bulky, but
right.
The armor is similar.
Yes.
The armor is similar, and he's just like a beast with a sword. Yeah. I mean, I definitely see that comparison.
Yeah, like the same kind of sword, the same kind of armor. I guess he's like, I don't know if it's correct to call him a paladin or a dark knight if you're talking about classes in video games or whatever, but he kind of has that dark knight / paladin look to him.
Yeah.
Whatever you want to call, like, yeah, that Nightmare. But he looks like Nightmare. I love that summon. I love his big red cape. I also like that in this first arc where they go into this portal and it ends up being like this ice world where these elves come, and these elves are really powerful, and they specifically target the weakest in the group. So they like start picking off weaklings, and Sung Jin-woo takes offense to that because he would have been that person in the group literally 2 months ago. So far, the anime has only been going for 2 months. So from the time episode,
you have the timeline on that? I was wondering how long it's been because I wasn't sure. But yeah, is that the timeline officially 2 months?
I got 2 months from the YouTube videos that I saw. So they all said that from the manhwa. It's been 2 months since it started. When by the time he gets to like that, I guess that like ice elf or whatever, around that time it's like a 2 month period. So he's pissed that this thing is blatantly these guys, these ice elves are targeting the weakest because he would have been targeted and he probably would have been killed because these guys are really powerful. But he ends up blocking and grabbing the ice attacks. It's like, oh, these are pretty powerful. Like I should keep my senses about me and all that stuff. So clearly he's gotten even stronger since the end of season 1. Like it's not like season 1 ended. He gets Igris, he gets Shadow Monarch abilities, he gets a rise. When the next season starts, like clearly he's been fucking grinding because
he's been solo leveling.
Because when he gets to this ice field, like the polar bear thing, like he just killed, like he sends out Igris. Igris kills the polar bear, like beheads it. He absorbs its soul like pretty easily. And then he fights the ice elf dude, who actually is really powerful. And I guess the one takeaway from that fight, not only was the animation for that fight amazing, like I thought that entire thing, it was a really, really cool looking fight. And I love Sung's like cape outfit that he had, like his winter outfit was really dope, like the cloak. But then he couldn't get that thing's spirit. Like he tried to arise it. He tried 3 times, and I think that's the threshold, right? He has like 3 tries, and it just didn't work. So that was surprising.
3 tries. I don't know what the % chance is, but yeah, that was, as far as we know, at least I think on screen, the only one he's ever failed to get.
Yes, and it did piss him off a good amount. He wanted that one for sure. So go ahead.
I don't know if it's that episode or the next episode, but let's just say later in that episode, there's a part where like his little friend guy is like, oh, or someone, it's like, oh, he's in like a really bad mood. Like he shouldn't be in a bad mood. He did all this great stuff, and they think he's in a bad mood because like I don't know, something went wrong or something about the dungeon. And like he's just in a bad mood because like he didn't get a new summon.
You know what I like about him though? Sung's inner thoughts and the way he is, at least for me, he's relatable. Like,
Yeah.
if you're playing a video game, Kenny, and you've played a lot of video games, you would feel the same way if like you saw a really cool thing and you have the ability to take things souls and use them in your own army. You would be kind of annoyed if there was something that you couldn't get that you wanted. Like if you wanted it, like if you wanted something and you're like, oh man, like think about Pokemon, for example, when you encounter an Entei in the fucking wild and you throw
runs.
and he runs, you're like, as like, again, I'll relate it to myself. As a kid, when I saw Suicune, Entei, Raikou, and they would like not get captured off my Ultra Ball, I would get really mad as a kid because I'm like, I don't know if I'm ever going to see them again.
Yeah, they're out there. They're fucked up.
Yeah, they're fucked up. Like you see them and it's not easy to find them. The internet wasn't what it is now, so I didn't know exactly how I was encountering them. So, you know, the way you do things as a kid back then is you just keep on going to the same exact grasses and you think maybe it was in this exact spot in this exact grass. I need to start the fight like right here, but you don't know how to really do it. And so you get pissed off and you get anxiety when you do encounter it. You finally encounter it again. And you're like, oh my God, I see it again. Do I attack it or do I just throw an Ultra Ball immediately? You know what I mean? Like I hate it. Yep. I fucking hate that. So
yeah, those are cool. I know a lot of people hate those. I don't know. They're awesome. I think Pokemon has a lot of cool mechanics that this is not the topic, but Pokemon had a lot of cool mechanics that I feel like they dumbed down and made easier over time just to make it more accessible. And this is a topic for a different video, but
I do have something to say about this too. I think Pokemon is rather soulless now.
I think that games, I don't think all quality of life is good. And I think sometimes as games become more modern, they keep adding more and more quality of life, and that term gets used, and it takes away a lot of the soul and interest in games.
Yep.
There needs to be some difficulty. There needs to be some hardship. It can't just be, I don't know. It's a topic for another video. But yeah, I just think games, there's too much quality of life and a lot of new games for the sake of accessibility, and I think it is to the harm of a lot of games.
I agree, because honestly, as much as I love Monster Hunter, and again, this isn't necessarily the main topic, but as much as I love Monster Hunter, I think Monster Hunter Wilds might be the one that I've played the least out of every Monster Hunter that's ever been out, ever. I think, even going back to the very, very first Monster Hunter game that I played, which was on PSP, Monster Hunter 1, and every single one after that, I'm pretty sure Wilds is the one that I have the least amount of time invested in and the least amount of interest of even going back. Like, I don't even think I'm going to play it again. That's how much I don't really care for the game. I'll play the expansion when that comes out. I don't know if Capcom can do anything in the next couple of title updates or whatever that'll ever bring me back to it, because quality of life is just like you said, I actually think that there is a problem with that. And I don't really know what the answer is, but like, I feel like Pokemon and Monster Hunter are both kind of becoming a little soulless. Like they're just...
I agree. I think
they became so big.
This is a really interesting, bigger topic that I really want to do a podcast on.
We can. And that could be the next one, honestly.
Yeah.
That could be the next...
Well, I think the next one's probably going to be Squid Game. But
yeah. Squid Game comes out. It literally said this Friday. So we can do Squid Game. But I think that this is a discussion that we could definitely table for another episode. And this is just how we are. We just rant and go off on tangents. But yeah, like Pokemon, when you found something that you really wanted and you couldn't capture it and then it gets away, I feel like Sung had that exact same. When I was a kid and Suicune ran away, I'm just pissed the entire... Like, I'm mad. I'm eating dinner. I'm
mad. I'm pissed.
I'm eating dinner and my grandmother's like, what's wrong? Like, well, you seem like you're in a pretty shitty mood. And I'm just like, no.
You know, that's the worst. That's the fucking worst when, and guys, this is, it's still related to Soul 11, because we're talking about the fact that he failed to get the summon, okay?
Yeah.
Anyway, but it's the worst when you're mad at something that you know no one would understand, like, especially if it's an adult, if it's a mom, a dad, an aunt, an uncle, and they're like, oh, what's wrong with you? What are you in a bad mood for? Like, what's wrong with you? Like, I was at work all day. You know what I mean? And they're like asking you, like, what could you possibly be upset at? And it's like, there's no way I could even begin to explain it to you, because the thing that I'm upset at, you already don't even care about.
Yep.
You don't think it's something to ever be upset at. It's just, there's so much. It's so
and
frustrating.
Problems are relative too. So like in a kid's life, if a video game is causing you some kind of distress or whatever, that is the problem in your life right now. Like it's yes, for an adult who works every day, who comes home and has to cook and clean and do laundry and all that shit, sure, it is literally so insignificant to you. And even when I become 30 years old one day, it'll probably be insignificant to me as well. But in this moment, while my life has only been going on for 10 years, like...
okay, I got it now. I got confused for a second.
Why did you say that?
Because for a second I thought you were saying, because when you were like, oh, even when I'm 30 years old one day, the framing of the sentence sounded different in my head.
Oh, okay,
I thought you were basically saying like, this is how I feel now, And maybe one day when I thought you were trying to low key act like you weren't 30. All right.
No,
I was confused for a
no.
second. I was like, Frazier, what is happening right now? But it all clicked. I was confused.
Yeah. No,
Listen,
everyone knows.
I was being slow.
Everyone knows I'm in my 30s by now. They have to. Like, you can literally just figure that out by just looking at a Konami article when I won SJC Atlanta in 2010. It tells you my age literally when I won. It says like Frazier Smith from Philadelphia, X years old. Just do the math. Anyway, but yeah, like, problems are relative. This is something that I learned in the last couple of years too. I didn't understand this concept of, like, rich people have problems and rich people's children have problems. And we look at them as poor people like, what the fuck do they have to complain about, right? Because you're rich. Your life is made. You have people waiting on you. You have people literally who drive you to school. You have a butler. You have a nanny. You have so many resources, so much money and everything. But then they have problems where they never see their parents because their parents are always on the road making that money. Or their parents just don't really care about their children because that's just that they're workaholics and they're more in love with their work and earning money than they are with their own offspring. And so I had to realize that everybody on the planet is going through shit. I promise you, there's no one living a perfect life. I don't care what social media shows you. I don't care what parasocial relationship you think you have with some influencer or some person on the internet. You don't know their life. They have problems too. And their problems are relative. In their world, their problems are relative. So it's like, you just have to take that into consideration and be empathetic towards other people.
It's true. It's true.
Yeah.
I completely agree. Problems are relative. That's everything you said I agree with. It's just, I'm still a little bit of a hater. And I just wish that
absolutely.
I feel like it's only poor people that know that problems are relative. I feel like it's only us that go like, I understand that problems are relative, and that if you're rich, you can have problems too. I get it.
Yeah.
But I feel like they don't get it from me. They're just like,
don't a lot of times.
They're like, why don't you just make more money?
Pull up your bootstraps or whatever the fuck they say.
I can't do that.
Yeah. Just pull up your bootstraps and stop getting Starbucks every day, because that will make you a millionaire if you stop getting Starbucks every day.
Real quick side note. I'm sorry. That what you just said is so important, because there's this thing where people with money, or older people really, they have this look at luxuries, right? Where they look down on us, or just normal people, middle class or lower class people, for having luxuries, right? Or they'll say like, your life's obviously not that hard. You have a 50-inch TV. What they don't realize, especially if they're older, is that the way the world has evolved is different. So like 50, 60, 70 years ago, having a TV was a luxury, because a TV was like thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars, right? But paying your rent was like $100 or like $200 a month. So comparatively, it was like, make sure if you shouldn't be buying a TV if you can't pay for your rent, because if you buy a TV, that's your rent for a year, right? So like, if you can't afford your rent, why are you buying a TV? But it's reversed now. Now buying a TV isn't even the cost of half of your rent for 1 month.
Not even
you know
close.
what I mean? Like,
like a TV is so accessible now. Like a 50, a 60, a 70-inch TV. You get a 70-inch TV for like $500, probably less than that, depending on what brand.
Yeah. So luxuries are a lot more accessible. So it's a lot easier to just have luxuries. Luxuries aren't even a fraction of the cost of essentials now. Whereas before, essentials were so much more expensive, or luxuries are so much more expensive than essentials. But now luxuries aren't really luxuries anymore. They are significantly cheaper than what essentials are now.
That is a good point.
You just said, reminded me, that rant popped in my head and I had to say it. I couldn't not say it.
Yeah. No, I like this whole side conversation, honestly, about just everything. Like, honestly, talking about soul leveling and talking about any anime can always just lead back into talking about real life, because that's what we do. Like, just, we have real life. We're experiencing real life all the time. But I was basically alluding to, I find Sung Jin-woo to be relatable in the sense that when he has these internal thoughts about stuff, I say to myself, I would probably handle this the same way. I would probably be annoyed in the same way he's annoyed. I would probably be a skeptic the same way he's a skeptic. He's very skeptical about things. He tests things out. It's what when I'm playing, the game I'm playing right now is Clair Obscura. I got test things when I don't know how shit works. Like, I didn't fucking watch everything that tells you like, this is how damage is calculated in this game, or this is how you do this. I'm like learning it on stream live, like in front of people. Like I don't know how this tells me it does this, but in every game, this could mean something different. So I go and test it. And then, I like that he's so inquisitive, and that to me is how I am. So I just like him as a character. I don't mind that he's OP. Like, he's OP as fuck, especially this season. He's OP as fuck. But like, I think that's so cool, because I also happen to like One Punch Man. This is just a different kind of One Punch Man. This is a serious One Punch Man, whereas One Punch Man is like way more funny. And there's laughter in Solo Leveling, but it's not the same. Anyway, so yeah, he can't absorb the elf thing, but he gets out of that world. While he was in there, there was this other S rank hunter who's pissed about his brother dying from season 1.
Yep.
the group of people who tried to con and kill Sung Jin-woo and his partner, the child dude, like who's rich, they tried to like con and kill them as they've been doing with other weaker hunters in the last couple of months. It doesn't work because Sung is just ridiculous, and Sung ends up killing them. This is the first time he ever killed people. Yep. And when he did it, and this is something I like, this is also The Last of Us too. He killed those guys and I thought they were nobodies. Like, they just seem like their character.
They were. One of them wasn't. All of the other ones were nobodies. Like, don't get it twisted. Like, the other 5, I want to say there were 6 or 7. But yeah, the other 5 were nobodies. But that guy, the one guy, he had a big brother. You know, he had a big brother.
One of them had a big brother. I like that this is a thing that we just experienced in Last of Us. People who get killed sometimes that seem like they're absolutely nobodies just end up, there's consequences to that. And Sung killed those people. The one guy did say something about, like, I have a brother. Like, before he died, he's like, my brother's gonna fucking kick your ass, or like, if you hurt me, like, he'll kill you or whatever. And then Sung didn't give a fuck and just cut his head off anyway. This season, just like in Last of Us, season 2, Sung is supposed to pay for that, so the guy's looking for him. He traveled all the way, I think he came from America, but he traveled from somewhere far. So. Yeah, some S-rank dude. He looks corny as shit, looks like Vin Diesel. He traveled far and wide to come to get Sung Jin-woo, but Sung is trapped in a red portal, and you can't go into a red portal. Like, you can't enter it or something. So, like, he shows up, and then Hunter Bike, the guy who turns to, like, a beast, like, he's an S-rank as well. They have, like, a little conversation. He's like, oh, where's Sung? Like, Sung's inside this thing. Oh, okay, he's lucky he's in there, because if he wasn't, I would have ripped his head off. Then the guy leaves. Sung, when he gets out, I'm pretty sure Hunter Bike, like, puts his hand on Sung's shoulder, because Sung is walking away. He walks away on every S-rank. He don't give a fuck who you are. He will walk away from you. And he starts doing his typical walk away thing. Like, the guy's like, what happened in there? And he's like, nothing serious. And he's like, well, that just can't be right. And Sung's like, I don't got time for this. I'm going home. I need dinner. The guy puts his hand on Sung's fucking, like, shoulder and activates his power up, where he starts to turn into his beast mode. His eyes turn yellow. His aura activates. And Sung kind of stops and just, like, turns his head slightly and activates his own aura and his own murderous intent, like that, the thing where his eyes turn blue. And, like, the guy just realizes, holy shit, like, this guy is really strong, and I don't even know if I could take him. I love that later in the season, after Sung gets evaluated as an S rank, and at this point he's stronger because he's going to the demon world, and, like, he farmed the demon world to, like, level 50 or something.
Yeah, level 60, because they say, and they're roundabout it. He's like, the last time I was here, I was level 20. This time, I'm at least 3 times that. And I was like, you could have just said you're level 60.
Yeah.
You could have just said that. But he just wanted But yeah, he's level 60. Yep.
I like when he comes out of the S rank evaluation thing, and the news is there. This is the 10th S rank hunter in Korea's history. So this is their 10th S rank hunter. So this is a big deal. It's like a big deal. You don't really have S rank hunters every day. So everyone's talking about his news. He's famous now. He hates it, obviously. But then Hunter Bike is there again, and he does his thing where he can, like, analyze your strength. He can, like, look at you. It's one of his abilities that not everyone has. He can see how powerful you are. And as Sung is walking away, he's just analyzing him. He's like, holy shit, this motherfucker got stronger than he was when I saw him earlier in the season. So much so that, like, there's no way I'd ever be able to take him now. And I think Sung, like, speed blitzes. Like, he basically teleports in that moment. Like, he walks out, and there's so many people, and he just, like, fucking flash ups.
Yeah. You're talking about, when he goes, and, like, all the news is there, right? And it's like, that's right. Yeah, and then, like, he doesn't want to deal with all the shit, and then, he flash steps, and then Vegeta / Piccolo says, he says, like, oh, I couldn't, like, he was faster than my eyes could see. Like, he moved faster than my eyes could track.
Yeah.
And, he was.
So the jig is up. Like, people are starting to realize this season that he is stronger than everybody there. The president of the Hunters Association realizes it. His father's being interrogated, and they're asking him all these weird questions, but the one question they ask him, he ends up answering, like, I do have a son. And they're like, what's your son's name? And he's like, Jinwoo, like Sung. Like, his name is.
So so I watched it dubbed, which is also why I called the one guy Piccolo, because he's just voiced by Chris Sabat.
Oh, wow.
But, so I watched it dubbed, and so I'm used to calling him Sung Jinwoo, etc. And I guess I just didn't really, but anyway, I
did he call him Jinho?
They call him like Jin. It wasn't like Sung Jinwoo. It was like Jin. It was like Jin Yu. It was like the way they said it was like Jin Yu, I think. So anyway, when the dad said, when they were like blah blah blah, and he was like, I have a son, and like my son's name is like Jin Yu. I was like, wait, is that supposed to be? Basically, character? I was like, is that supposed to be like the dad? I was like, oh, is that like his dad?
Yeah.
And then like they called him like something Sung. I was like, oh, it is blatantly his dad. And this was like all within 5 minutes, and it was his dad. And then like an episode or two later, they show the dad of the rich kid, the rich dad.
Yeah.
And essentially, like, he gets like the eternal sleep disease, and they explain like, oh, you get this disease when you don't have magic resistance and you're exposed to somebody with a lot of magical power. Which, you know, then tells you the reason why Sung's mom has this disease, because Sung's mom's been a coma for 4 years. She has this disease because of Sung's dad.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the dad is very powerful because the other S-rank hunter who was looking for his son, they get into a little kerfluffle, and he puts that guy in a fucking hospital. That guy's missing teeth. He's all of the bones in his body are broken, and he's completely incapacitated the next time you see him. Like, he was looking for Sung's son, and instead he found the dad, and the dad is like, so this tells you that Jinwoo's father is stronger than S-ranks, which doesn't surprise me. I don't know the extent of his power. I doubt that it's on the power level of the main character, because the main character can just keep getting stronger, unless the father has the exact same ability where he can also keep getting stronger. I don't know.
Yeah.
But like,
so I wanted to ask you about this. So I was like a little like, I don't know how I feel about his dad being the super OP. I'm assuming at the moment his dad is stronger, just because I would assume he is.
Yeah, kind of same. Yeah.
But then again, Sung is stronger than literally everything, so I don't know.
Yeah, there's nothing that there is. I think, like, I don't think his dad, just judging by what we've seen so far, we haven't seen much, but I don't think his dad would be able to beat Biru. Like, I don't think he'd be able to beat that. I don't think so, but like maybe his dad is a national rank. But then that would be weird, because how the fuck do we not know that until we still don't know that, right?
That's the thing. The parents, well, when they were interviewing him, they were like, his story doesn't make sense. Like, he's been apparently traveling through gates for like however many years, and he like whatever. And the Koreans were like, his story doesn't make sense. We don't understand what the fuck he's saying. But anyway, I guess my point is, like, I was kind of surprised that his dad's relevant, because and when more information comes out, you know, maybe it'll be different. But it feels like his dad is really broken, which is supposed to be like a precursor to him being broken. But like, he wasn't broken. He was an E rank, and then he became broken because of whatever random power up he got. I don't know. I just thought his dad was random. But I mean, obviously we don't have any, like, no story on him yet. He just kind of showed up, did a thing.
Yeah, he beat an S rank, and that's like his introduction. And then they introduced national hunters on this season as well, which are already stronger than S rank. So you know that his dad has to be at the very least somewhere between S rank and national rank, right? Because he beat an S rank and he zero diffed him. And obviously there's matchups that can be bad. Like the one guy who's a mage, the fire dude, he would lose to like other S ranks because they just are a bad matchup. And then he would beat other ones because they're like a good matchup, for example.
And then also, like, within S rank, like, S rank doesn't mean you're all the same power level.
Right.
There's like a floor and a ceiling to S rank.
Yep. Like within that,
there's like an S minus and an S plus. You know?
Right. Because within that, the guy who was the Japanese leader, he's stronger than most of the other people that are not Sung Jae-woo.
Yeah.
Like, that guy was apparently, I mean, we didn't really get to see it, but apparently he was the real deal in terms of just like being absolutely ridiculously powerful. Like, they made a point of it multiple times. And also the president of the Hunters Association is supposed to be otherworldly as well. And he's considered S rank as well. So like you said, there's definitely like levels to S rank. S rank is an umbrella term almost. In terms of his dad, like you said, and I think that's just what we have to endure with this show. It's kind of like Demon Slayer. Every season, we're just going to get more of the picture. We're kind of in a zoomed in view right now, and we're getting a world built very slowly. And honestly, that's part of the reason why I even like the show still. It's the same reason why, like, after season 2 of Demon Slayer, the show was still good. It's because there's so much mystery, so much that you don't know. You don't understand why things are happening. And that can wear itself thin after, like, let's say 7 seasons in. We still don't know anything about anything. And then it's like, okay, this is what this show is. You guys don't have a fucking real story to tell here. I'm still hopeful, just like I was after season 2 of Demon Slayer, that, like, there is something to be told on the horizon. You just have to kind of keep waiting. And with anime now being 12 episodes a season, usually like Freerun was oh my god, Freerun was so different, because Freerun was 28 episodes, which I think is like so much better for world building and for just like for reference, Freerun has more episodes than all of Solo Leveling right now still. Yeah, that's true. And Freerun's only one season in, if you go by like what they call it. Like season 1 of Freerun is more than all of Solo Leveling. So
that's true.
I always try to think about that. Anime is not the way it was when we were growing up. We grew up on Dragon Ball Z. At some point we got Naruto and Bleach and shit like that. And those just were weekly. They came out every single week. Now, what that did was, unfortunately, we ended up getting fillers because they came out so much. You end up with filler. The anime now doesn't have filler. Most of it doesn't have filler. So,
dude, the golden ratio, man, what they got to do is half go back to the old way, right? What you do is you don't do weekly. That's crazy.
Weekly is
But
crazy.
do half the year. But do like weekly half the year, and then you got the other half the year to like build it back up. Or do like a quarter of the year, take a quarter off, a quarter of the year, take a quarter off.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I like
Give
this.
the manga time.
What I'm going to say is I don't know what the strain is on the actual animators these days, because after the whole
it's probably even worse
Jujutsu Kaisen thing, after the whole Jujutsu Kaisen season 2 debacle where we ended up getting bad animation on one of the best fights with Mahoraga versus Sukuna, and the whole, Twitter was like, that shit was viral. That whole thing was trending. It was viral. I don't know what it takes to animate the level of animation we're getting. Soul Leveling is one of the best looking anime we've ever seen, just because like it's new. And that's just what animation is standard for animation now. Like, I don't have to say this anymore going forward. I probably will continue to say it. But in general, every anime I've seen in the last 5 years is just the best animation I've seen, period. Right? Like Demon Slayer, last 5 years. Fucking Free Ring looks amazing. Like everything I've seen. Like Chainsaw Man looks amazing.
Yeah, I mean, I think Demon Slayer, I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Like, the human mind is fallible. I said that word wrong. But maybe I'm wrong. But I do think, just off the top of my head, Demon Slayer probably still has like some of the the best animation of anything that has come out.
For sure.
Like,
especially color grading and stuff like that. When you get into like the technical aspect of it, the amount of color in Demon Slayer, it just is so well done. But to the point, anime looks beautiful now, but that comes with the cost. The same thing we complain about with video games like Kingdom Hearts and stuff like that, taking way too long to come out, and they get developed for. Now, Kingdom Hearts takes a decade to develop. I do not like that.
Which is insane.
It's
just not necessary.
It takes a decade to develop Kingdom Hearts.
And if it didn't, it doesn't need to look that good.
It doesn't care. I don't need Kingdom Hearts 4 to look like. I don't need Kingdom Hearts 4 to look better than Kingdom Hearts 3.
I don't need it to look better than Kingdom Hearts 2.
Me either. And I'm being so serious.
Like,
about
I'm being
this.
so serious.
I'm being
if Kingdom
so
Hearts 4
serious.
literally was a play, like if they released it and they were like, you can literally run this game on your PlayStation 2, I'd be like, I'd be like sick.
You are wild.
Hell yeah.
I don't need my games to look like 4K, like 240 hertz refresh rate. I just don't need the blades of grass to look like actual blades of grass. I don't need, what do they call that, ray tracing? I don't need it. I don't need the sun when it hits through a tree. And like when I was playing The Last of Us in 4K, the remaster that I played,
it does look beautiful.
Oh, Kenny, it looks. First of all, I couldn't tell it wasn't a game that came out in 2025. That remake.
I will say this, for a game like Last of Us, though, that ambiance is part of the game.
It is.
So I do think the graphics enhance your experience in a game like The Last of Us.
And it was only 20 hours. The game was. I didn't know that going into it. I didn't know that The Last of Us was a 20-hour game. I had no idea. The Last of Us is actually, with exploration and everything, is a 20-hour game.
Yep.
Like I like veered off. I did a lot of like checking for like making sure I didn't miss anything, getting all the little resources. It's a 20-hour game. So with that in mind, I'm like, okay, you can make a game that's beautiful when it's only 20 hours.
Yeah.
Because like that makes sense. But for Kingdom Hearts to be as short as Kingdom Hearts 3 was, and for it to take it took over a decade. It took 12 years to develop Kingdom Hearts 3. And now we're waiting we're more than half a decade in, I think, after Kingdom Hearts 3 came out, right? It came out, 2018? Or 2020?
Yeah.
I don't know when it came out.
It came out before the pandemic.
Okay, so it's over 5 years.
But I want to say it was 2019.
Sure. That puts us over 5 years,
sure,
which is over half a decade.
But it was definitely before the pandemic. Like, I don't think we were in COVID times.
I agree. Because I was.
3 came out.
I remember Gary going to work and coming back, and I was still in the same spot playing the game. Like, he left out at like 6 a.m. to commute. And I remember him coming back, and I was still in the exact same spot where he left me, with like the cover over my head. Like I was in complete disarray. Like I set up my whole gaming setup downstairs in the living room. I usually play in my bedroom. I set up my gaming shit in the living room, and like I put I like wrapped myself in a blanket. Then I had a blanket that went over my head like I was a nun, and I just was like super comfortable.
You were in full kid mode.
I was in full kid mode. I was sitting Indian style, and I just played the game. And when he left and came back after an 8-hour shift plus commute, I was still in the exact same spot with the same clothes on, had not showered, had not eaten, playing Kingdom Hearts 3. So you're right. It definitely was not during the pandemic. It was before the pandemic, which means it just, to my point, it's been over half a decade since that game came out, which sounds crazy to say now, but it's been over half a decade. It's been longer than 5 years since Kingdom Hearts 3. We don't even know where the fuck Kingdom Hearts 4 is, and we're not getting Kingdom Hearts 4 probably in the next 3 years. If we're being all the way real, we're probably not getting Kingdom Hearts 4 in the next 3 years, which is so fucking disappointing, but I digress.
Crazy. As long as I get Remake Part 3, you know?
Yeah.
Let me just get Remake Part 3, I'll be happy.
Let's get something, right? And I think we will, because they're doing good with that. But to the point of graphics and just like animation, all the way back, like you were saying, you know, we were just talking about like how animation now, say, I don't know how long it takes to develop something that looks as beautiful as these current animes do, but anime is one of those things where I don't know how I feel about, like, I enjoy anime that looks worse, obviously, than the shit that we get now. But I do feel like anime is so much better because it looks beautiful now the way it does. Like, I love that Frieren when she makes the bed of flowers. That,
yeah, it looks insane.
Like, the beauty of it is like, holy shit, that's so like it's eye porn now. It's just like, it's beautiful. Yeah. So that's part of the experience. Whereas gaming, I don't feel the same way. I don't need my games to be like, I play Octopath Traveler and I'm happy. I don't need it to look like.
Yeah, well, the thing is with anime, part of part of solo leveling's appeal, part of why a lot of people really like it is how pretty it is. It looks really good. It looks better than a lot of its peers. Because there is still anime that's animated very poorly. Yeah. And just like is really like stiff or whatever.
And it usually doesn't become as popular.
Yeah. So solo leveling looks really pretty. But the thing is, anime is a visual medium. It's something that you're watching. Yep. Whereas video games, it's okay for them to not look as good, in my opinion. Because at the end of the day, the way I'm experiencing the medium is I'm playing it.
Yeah.
I'm not obviously the visuals are important, but the gameplay is more important. For example, nobody would argue that Smash Ultimate has better graphics than Melee. But for me personally, I like Melee more.
Yeah.
Just because of the way Melee's game feel.
Yeah.
But Ultimate looks better than Melee.
It's not even close.
It's not a competition.
It's not even it would be, you would sound like a crazy person, right? Yeah, one is polygonal and one just is fucking 3D models. So, exactly. And I think when it comes to the video game medium, you're absorbing the content in more ways than just visually. Yeah. Like you said, the gameplay aspect of it and stuff like that. Now, granted, with anime, yes, there's storyline and stuff like that, but games also have a storyline, hopefully. So,
yeah. Oh, yeah.
So yeah, it is a different thing. But yeah, I agree that I wish anime would find a happy medium between 12 episodes, because 12 episodes is definitely not enough. It's starting to give me vibes of, it's just not enough. 12 episodes is just not enough. Yeah, after I'm done, 12 episode anime per year, and I'm not getting another season of it in the next year or two, and you only got 12, you got 12 20-minute episodes. That's crazy. When you think about it, that's actually not much. Like, if One Piece did that, we would never, ever catch up.
You'd never get to the end of it.
You'd never get to the end of One Piece.
The thing is, I don't know when season 1 of Solo Leveling came out. You might know. I don't know. But, season 2 came out like this year or whatever. And so if it does at least come out every year, because I think season 2 adapts up to chapter like 100 of the manhwa.
Okay.
So like those 24 or 25 episodes that is season 1 and season 2 adapt over 100 chapters of the manhwa. I don't know how many chapters the manhwa is, but I know that it's over 100 in terms of season 1 and 2. My point is, if it at least comes out yearly, right? Like you said, you still feel like that's not enough, but that's still better than like what we get with like Chainsaw Man, where it's like, I don't know if Chainsaw Man's just never coming back. Like, I don't know what's going on with Chainsaw Man. Like,
I think it's
Demon
getting a
Slayer,
movie.
where like
I think the next thing is a movie.
Yeah, where everybody knows the Attack on Titan season 2 debacle. So if we can at least get yearly, I'll be somewhat happy.
Yeah, but it still does kind of suck that you're waiting a year for 12 episodes. Like, sure, it can adapt as many chapters as they want. Bleach is doing the same thing. They're adapting like 60 chapters in 12 episodes.
Because comparatively, right, Naruto would be roughly, taking out like certain holidays or breaks, Naruto would be anywhere between 40 and 50 episodes a year. So like, I feel like there needs to be something between 12 and 50. Right? Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, there's something between 12 and 50.
Yeah, like, weekly is 52. You take out Golden Week, you take out obvious other holidays, Chinese New Year, shit like that, whatever. Whatever they celebrate. I don't know all the holidays in Japan, but you take out the holidays, you take out that, and then you end up with some number of weeks. And then like, just because I'm a human and I have empathy for other people, you take out like, a couple more just for like the sanity of people not being overworked like JJK season 2. And then you end up with maybe something around 30 episodes a year, which is actually still a lot of episodes. That's a lot. That's more than Free Run season 1.
Yeah. Well, I think Free Run's a good example.
28.
Look, if we got Free Run's
right?
28 episodes, but I'm going to use 24 as my example. I think 24 episodes a year. Like, really I could probably chomp on that.
I could do 24.
24 seems good. I mean, that's double what we get now.
Yeah, I'm not mad at 24. And then you don't have to worry about like some of the issues that happen when you just have 12 episodes, which is you just feel like you're waiting to get the story and you don't understand things that happen because they can only give you a glimpse. Like they introduce a character, but you're not getting anything about that character for literally 365 days.
Yeah. Another good example is like, now that said, I think Dandadan season 2 is about to come out very soon.
Literally like next month.
But like Dandadan, which I loved season 1.
Same.
There's a lot I liked about it. But we all said the way season 1 ended was like really fucking like, this is terrible.
I've never seen an anime end like that ever, a season.
Yeah, it was just like, why did it end that way? It just feels like there's another episode. Like it was just a really bad way to end it.
Yeah.
And you run into that problem because you're adapting a long form series into 12 episodes. And like, you're like, well, this is where the manga goes and we don't have enough budget to do another episode. So this is what you get.
Yeah. And to your point about, I'm just going to keep comparing Solo Leveling to Free Run because I watched them at the same time, like back to back. And I think that those two anime, I mean, they literally just competed for anime of the year. And like by Crunchyroll standards, it was Solo Leveling, but obviously they're biased because they actually are part of the production of Solo Leveling.
They produced it, right? Or they helped produce it?
They helped produce it. So literally, like, it's like giving an award to yourself. And then the...
It's the Obama meme. Where Obama's putting the medal on Obama. Shit is great.
Yeah, so it's a bit ridiculous. But then Free Run won, like, Anime of the Year by every other metric and every other award thing that's not Crunchyroll. So it's like, I compare these two a lot. I watch them at the same time. So to me, they have like the same, they're holding space in my head in the same exact pocket of my life.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair. You watch them, I feel like within weeks of each other.
Literally.
Maybe not even that much.
Yeah, literally that. I went from one to the other back to back. Because I even asked Gary and Luke while they were playing fucking Draft Kings or whatever. And I was like, yo, I just have a question. Like, what do you guys think is better, Solo Leveling or Free Run? And they were like, they both said Free Run and it wasn't close. And I was like, that can't be. I said, because at the time I hadn't seen Free Run, but I'd seen season 2 of Solo Leveling. And I was like, that sounds nuts to me. Like, how could you? They were like, it's not even up for debate. And they just kept dueling. It made me so mad that they said it. And then Gary was like, yeah, I'm going to attack. How much do I take? And I'm just like, wait, are you guys saying that like Solo Leveling is not as good as, they were like, it's not even up for debate.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. And I do think it's unfair. And it's, I mean, I don't know. Maybe unfair is the wrong word, but I think it's unfair to compare the two. I think it's unfair to compare Solo Leveling and Free Run in that, and they came out around the same time though, and then so like they get compared and like they both competed for Anime of the Year. But I do think it's unfair to compare the two. I think they are very, very, very different.
Same.
And like, for example, to me, Free Run's not Anime of the Year. It's one of the best anime of all time.
Yes.
And I think
I don't care about Anime of the Year for Free Run at all.
Yeah. Like to me, it's like Free Run. It's not, and it's like no shade to any other anime that came out. It's no shade to Solo, no shade to anything else.
Right.
Free Run. It's not to me. It's not just Anime of the Year. It is one of the best anime I've seen. Period.
It is literally super S tier. It's up there with. Like,
I didn't mean to glaze Free Run on this episode.
Right, but it's gonna happen. It's up there with like Promised Neverland season 1, like those super S tier season 1s of it. But the thing is, it got 28 episodes, which is so broken, and Solo Leveling still doesn't have 28 episodes. So I was like,
I want to say 25.
Okay, so you're right. So it's like, I don't even like comparing things that don't even have the same amount of time, because I saw something recently that was comparing like One Piece to something else. And I was like,
yeah, that's just kind of ridiculous.
I was like, what is
One
this?
Piece has over 1,000 chapters.
I was like, what the fuck is going on here? Like, why are we comparing? Like, just don't compare. When you compare things, you gotta like make it, you gotta try to equalize it. Like, you gotta try to make it on the same level to compare it. You don't fucking compare something. Like, I wouldn't compare Game of Thrones, which is completed work, right? It's a completed work against something that is still ongoing and is in its first season or whatever. Like, that just...
Yeah.
I just wouldn't do that, because it's like, why are you comparing something that you've seen the entire thing? You've seen 7 seasons of Game of Thrones or whatever, 8 seasons of Game of Thrones. You've seen the entire story, and you're like comparing it to season 1 of The Pit. It's like, well, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, I get The Pit is amazing. Like, season 1's amazing, but why am I comparing it to one of the greatest shows of all time?
Yeah. You're sometimes you set things up to fail to do that, which is why, so to go all the way back to the first 5 minutes of this, that's why when you had brought up the Chimera Ant thing, that's why I like made a big deal of saying like I wasn't going to bring it up, because I just didn't want to talk about Hunter x Hunter or the Chimera Ant thing at all, because if I framed it in a way, and I'll just say it here, but if I framed it in a way of like me thinking it's not as good as Hunter x Hunter or not as good as the Chimera Ant arc. I didn't want it to seem like I was trying to compare the two and saying this one's not as good because you know what I mean?
Right, because Hunter x Hunter has
like,
140 episodes or whatever.
Versus 25.
Yes, literally that. And again, I just don't like comparing things. Like you can compare JJK more accurately to Solo Leveling. You know?
I mean, I think they have about the same. Well, actually, I think they have about the same amount, right?
I forget. JJK season 1 is long. I feel like.
I think season 1 actually is like double the length of season 2. Season 1 might be 25 episodes.
Yeah, I think
so. Don't quote me on that, but I think it might be.
But still, you could more closely compare those two anime than you could like Hunter x Hunter versus fucking even within the Chimera Ant arc. It takes
there's more episodes than
it is
Solo Leveling.
So it is such a big deal. Like, granted, yes, the Chimera Ant arc in Solo Leveling is a big deal to them, but it's resolved in less than 2 seasons. Whereas the Chimera Ant arc in Hunter x Hunter is the longest season, and it's the biggest thing that happens in the entire like it's the by far the biggest thing that happens. Like it's such a huge deal.
Yeah.
So like it's just not a fair comparison, but I do acknowledge that yes, they clearly lifted this from they're inspired by a great anime, which is what every great anime that comes after another one usually is inspired by something. Even JJK is inspired by like Bleach very clearly.
Yeah. JJK wears its inspirations on his sleeves. It even says it out loud sometimes.
It does say it out loud. Like, this is a Kamehameha. This is a Rasengan. Like, they blatantly let you know, we lifted some of the things from Dragon Ball. We lifted some of the things from Naruto or Bleach or whatever. Like, curses in general are very similar to hollows and, like, you know, all of that stuff. Like, right? Negative emotions of humans and all that crap. Like, you've heard of that before. It's not a completely new concept. What is it with Asia and, like, ants? Because this is not even, Hunter x Hunter is not even the only thing that has done this weird thing with like ants. I heard that there are other anime that I've never seen before that have this exact same type of storyline with the ants, and there's like
I'm curious
thing.
I'd have to off the top of my head, I can't think of any. Maybe I have. I think there's like an anime in the back of my mind that I feel like came out in like 2015 that I remember seeing where like there was ants on an island, but I it's like vaguely in the back of my mind. I can't remember anything else about it.
There's one with roaches, where roaches are ridiculous and like they're the main thing. Like I don't need just like humanoid roaches, bro. And it's
I don't need the roaches, bro.
I don't need it either. I'm creeped out by roaches, but
yeah, I don't know. I wonder. Yeah, it is a thing.
It might be a lore
it'll
thing.
always be Hunter x Hunter. I don't know if Hunter x Hunter did it first. I don't know if maybe it's just like a Japanese thing, like how the Nine-Tails Fox is a Japanese thing. I don't know.
Right. Because like Karen is a Japanese thing, like the QB is a Japanese thing. That's just a part of their lore. So oftentimes they're drawing from things that are just like part of, you know, the lore there in that country or the country surrounding them. And that makes sense. They're inspired by, obviously you're inspired by things. Like if I made something, I'd probably make like Bible too. Like, you know, because like in America, the Bible is such a big deal. And if I'm inspired by like mythological things here, it would probably be like the Bible would be an inspiration, like something about it.
Not even far off. There are 100,000 shows that are the Bible, right? Like there's that show called Lucifer.
Yep.
There's like Buffy the Vampire Slayer, I think, has a lot of biblical stuff in it. Like, I mean, everything. Angels and demons and devils are all over American media.
Yep.
Like they're in so fucking many things. And they're all very clearly like Christian coded in terms of like Bible coded, people saying the rosary to like kill devils and
and even morality as a topic in general, right? Like just that concept of morality, a lot of that comes from like the Bible.
Yeah.
Like, you know, so yeah, it doesn't matter who did it first. It's who did it best. Obviously Hunter x Hunter did it best, but that's not the point. Yeah, so I would like more anime. I would like more, but your original statement was his dad is in his...
I don't even know what my statement was.
I do. I've been keeping track of it. Like, even though we've gone so far from the shallow, you brought up that his dad seemed kind of random. And I agree, in the context of the 25 episodes that we've seen of Soul Leveling, his dad coming out of nowhere and being a big deal and all of that, you know, is like, yes, it's random in the context of seeing a 25 episode show. But then I bet if we saw 140 episodes of it with way more context and all that, it'd just be like, oh yeah, his dad. Like that. Sure, his dad came in episode 17, but in the context of the entire scheme of the story, it's like, well, his dad makes sense as a character. You wouldn't even question it, but we're only questioning because we only got 12 episodes, and he was one of like his dad's in like 2 episodes out of the entire season 2.
Yeah, I mean, I hope so. But I'll say like, so like for example, right, something that on one end, Sung Jin-woo is a very enjoyable person to watch, just fuck shit up.
Yep.
He's super broken. I think like Frazier earlier mentioned that he's very relatable. And I think it's clear. I think anybody that watches the show.
He's a gamer.
And I think,
at the end of the day.
I think it's written, it's like done that way especially like the way he dresses, the way he acts, the way he talks and things. He's written to be relatable. He's written to kind of be a self-insert. He's written so that you can kind of like have that power fantasy, right?
Yes.
So he's written in a way so that when you're watching it, it hits like that dopamine in your head, and you're like, it can almost feel like you're doing it in a way when you're watching him do it. So it's very easy to enjoy and like the things that Sung Jin-woo is doing. So like I'm cool with all that. But like to the point of like, I hope the dad stuff doesn't feel random, is like in season 1, they introduced all these broken ass characters. And I was like, oh, I wish I got a little bit more about these broken ass characters. And like season 2, I certainly did get more about those broken ass characters, but they don't matter. Like the fact that like by the time Sung Jin-woo is level 60, he is stronger than every fucking S rank combined. Yeah. Because
he can walk
around that. Yeah, like because he's not level 100 when he fights the Black Ant, right? The Black Ant is stronger than every human that exists in Korea and Japan combined. Like like the Black Ant is crazy. And then like when Sung Jin-woo fights him, they don't even fight. I think Sung gets hit like once, and he gets poisoned, and he's like on the ground for a second, and then like he just grabs his hand, and then that Black Ant, who was born about 10 minutes ago, starts having an existential crisis. He's like, what do you mean? I'm supposed to be the strongest being in the universe. How is it possible that this human is stronger than me? I have to run. I have to preserve my race. Like he does
say all of those things, and he literally tries to run away. And I think Sung uses like mutilate or some shit.
Yeah, and Sung just like murder. So it was like insane to me that before he was even like he is so, and that's why it's kind of funny. Like I don't know where it's going to go. Obviously those like the blue guy and like that other guy, and
the national ranks and all those people. It's
going to get like even bigger. But at this point, it's hard for me to believe that anyone will ever be a threat.
I take it just like I take One Punch Man. I'm going to keep making that comparison because literally I've yet to see anyone even come close to challenging Saitama. And now that we're out of the early game where Sung actually had competition, the fight with Igris, he said he would have lost if Igris used his sword.
I think that's the best fight in the series.
Same. I still have that as number 1. I don't know. People have such recency bias. People were talking about this Biru versus Sung thing, and like when it happened, the internet was up in arms, and I was like, this is not as good as the previous fights.
No. Like I got so Sung versus Igris, I got excited.
Yeah, like you felt something, right? Like you felt.
Yeah. When he was fighting the Black Ant, like it was cool. It was visually pretty to look at. It was cool. It was cool. But I can honestly say, like, I wasn't like excited. Like I didn't really care.
And when it was over, like, you weren't like, holy shit, I can't believe he won that. You were just kind of like, okay, that
he just beat the shit out of him. And it was a whole season of him beating the shit out of everybody. So he just like beat the shit out of somebody else. And I was like, all right. Like,
when he got Tusk, the fucking guy who said I'm the strongest spellcaster of all time, and like you will never be able to defeat me, and he made this huge monologue and he became really big. He made himself really big, and the Sung was like, you just made yourself a bigger target, and he just killed him. And then he absorbed him, and he's like, I don't remember what your name was. You're going to be Tusk. He just calls him Tusk. And I'm like, okay, so he has Iron, and then he has Tusk, and he has Igris, and he has the polar bear. And I'm just like, I love these things. But like,
cool.
He just went through season 2, just zero different everybody. So when he got to Biru, and it's the same thing. I'm like, how could you guys pretend like that had any difference to the last 7 fights you saw him in? Like Igris had stakes where he was losing to Igris. He actually got bailed out, right? Didn't he get sucked into
he got bailed out. He got plot armored because I think he planned it. I don't remember. It's been a while since I've seen season 1 at this point.
I thought he forgot. I thought he forgot to do his fucking daily tasks.
You might be right. He might have forgot. Maybe he didn't plan it. But either way, he ended up in the punishment game, in the punishment realm. And when he was in the punishment realm, he like leveled up and then like drank a potion.
Because he can beat those centipedes now,
Yeah. And then he came back and fought Igris. So like that was certainly more interesting. And the fight choreography.
Oh, him getting dragged against the wall.
Of Igris versus Sung was just, I do think it's the best fight of the 25 episodes. Igris Sung is like the best fight. It's so good.
It's very peak.
It's really, really good. But yeah, I'm not Igris. Sung versus the Black Ant was a really cool fight, but it didn't feel like there was no stakes. Like he just beat the shit out of it. In fact, I was a little annoyed when he didn't go on the raid to begin with, because so something I really liked, probably my favorite thing of the season was when Sung like cried and when he brought his mom back.
Very, very well done.
When he saved his mom and he got like he clears the 100 floors and then he gets all the recipe for the elixir. And there's this nice moment where he like kind of stutters and you can hear his voice crack a little bit, and he's worried because he realizes that, because it says like the success rate of crafting the elixir is based off your intelligence, and the amount that you get is based off your intelligence. So, and then he like got worried because essentially like it's not a guaranteed thing. So he needed this elixir. He needed it to be successful. And if it wasn't successful, everything he's done didn't matter, and he won't be able to save his mom. So there was a moment of like hesitancy and fear in him because he wanted to make this elixir, and then he makes like 6 of them, and he's like, there's a sigh of relief. He was able to successfully do it. And then he feeds it to his mom. And at this point, he's still not even sure if it's going to work. But yeah, it ends up working. His mom comes back and he starts crying. And it's like, it's a really nice moment. It's a nice character moment for the character and for the mom. It's just like a sweet moment. Yeah. So,
but he also gets requested to come, by the president requests that he goes to Jeju Island, and he declines it.
And he declines it because he's like, my mom just got, I don't know if he tells the guy this, but essentially he declines it because he's like, he wants to spend time with his mom, which I understand. But I feel like, look, what do you do when the ants, like, you know, there's a chance, you know, you're stronger than everybody else.
Yeah.
And you know that you fought things, like you've been in multiple dungeons where everybody around you just would die if you weren't there. So I just think it's a little crazy that he doesn't go to begin with, because like there's a lot of people that die that just wouldn't have died if he went to begin with.
Yep.
And like if the ants get home, like you can't let them get on shore. Like what if they end up killing your mom? So I got a little annoyed that he just didn't go to begin with, because he could have cleaned it up in 5 minutes, and he did. When he showed up, he did clean it up in 5 minutes.
I wonder if he genuinely thought that they could handle it, because they were sending 2 countries of S ranks. They actually sent so many that they were concerned about being defenseless. Like they were concerned about they were concerned about the mainland and Japan being defenseless, because they were literally sending virtually every strong hunter that they have for this Jeju Island, because they failed, I think, 3 times. Episode 1 of the entire.
This is the 4th. Excuse me. This is the 4th raid.
Right. So they failed 3 fucking times. So this time they're like, we're sending every S rank, and I think because Sung is young, we also have to acknowledge that like Sung is actually a kid. Like in a grand scheme of things, like he's a kid. Like he's maybe 20 years old. I don't even know if he's
he's definitely out of school.
Yes, but he's
older than his sister, and he doesn't go to school. But I don't. Yeah, he's early 20s.
Yeah, like he's very fucking young. Like okay, when I met you, I was 20. You were 19. By no means, if I'm 20 years old, will I say that I like looking back on it now, I am just not an adult. I just wasn't an adult, bro. Like I just was.
I can hang out tonight because tomorrow's Friday.
That was my fucking line. I told Kenny and me used to go to Locals all the time, and we would go to the Fresh Grocer after Locals closed. We would go to the Fresh Grocer. We would hang out there. People who listen to the podcast every episode, you know this already, but for people who are this first time, we would go to the Fresh Grocer, which is a market like Acme or Pathmark or Super Fresh or ShopRite, and they had an upstairs area that didn't close at all. Like this place was 24 hours, and it had like tables and shit. So we would go there and duel and just talk shit.
So like Locals would close at like, let's say 10 I want to say.
Yeah, let's say 10.
And then like not everybody, but a lot of people from Locals would literally just go to
like
the Fresh Grocer,
10 at least 10 people,
a hoagie or whatever, and like just continue to play Yu-Gi-Oh till like midnight, 1 a.m.
Yep. Every single night. This is what we did. So one time, because I was working, I think there was one time where
you were working. You had a job.
There was one time where Kenny was like, are you going to like hang out at the Fresh Grocer or whatever like that? And I was like, yeah, I can go. It's Thursday, and tomorrow is Friday, so yeah, I can stay up until like 3 a.m. or whatever, because tomorrow was Friday. And he just like started dying laughing. He was like, what the fuck does that even mean? Like tomorrow is Friday, like tomorrow's a work day. Like I don't know how
tomorrow you can stay up late,
right?
But that doesn't mean you can do it today.
Yeah. I was like, yeah, because tomorrow was Friday. So that was like a thing. And he never forgot that. Like never in life has he forgotten.
No, that's one of my favorite things you've ever said. Like
because tomorrow was Friday. So it's been 15 years since I said that. And he's never forgot. So anyway, yeah, like solo leveling, I like the scene with his mom. I do wonder, because he's a bit naive, I think in general. Like I think Sung is just a bit naive. Like he even lets that one demon girl, like she clearly has ulterior motives, but he seems aloof of certain things in general, just like typical anime protagonist guy who has women who love him. He doesn't seem to notice it at all.
I will say that I don't like the way any of the women are written in this show. I think all of the women are just written to fall in love with a guy. Like every girl that Sung meets, like just like blushes. Like, I thought it was so random that the blonde girl, she just randomly has a power where she can smell people and they all smell bad.
Yep.
She's like, oh, he smells so good. And like everybody falls in love
The
with
nurses
Sung. Like,
when he first like started
like
transforming.
Everyone falls in love with him. And then even like other girls, like they're the one S rank, he has like an afro.
I know what you're talking about.
Before they go to the island, he's talking to like his vice captain, and he's like, I leave like the guild to you. And then she's like saying whatever. And then anyway, she just ends up blushing while she's looking at him. And I was like, every fucking girl in this show is just like, oh, like they're just like swooning.
I think that he's supposed to be highly attractive though, right? Like,
yeah. Well, you know what's funny is I heard someone say that one of the reasons why they like Solo Leveling is there's not a lot of fan service. There's obviously like fan service, like there's some shots of the girl in the pool, but they were like, there's not a lot of fan service in Solo Leveling, and I appreciate that. And they were like, I think that's the reason why there's a lot of girls that like Solo Leveling. And then my immediate thought was, oh no, there's fan service. Sung Jin-woo has his fucking shirt off and he's showing off his abs. Like there's fan service. It's just not for you.
Yeah.
There's fan service, but it's for either the gay guys or the women. Like there's fan service. Don't get it twisted.
Because I as I was watching it, I was like, Sung is very clearly attractive. Like he's tall. He has his voice actor. So I watch it in Japanese. His voice actor is the same voice actor from something else. Let me see Sung Jin-woo Japanese voice actor. Hold on. His voice actor sounds amazing though. Voice actor Japanese. Here we go.
Yeah, I watched the whole thing in English. I recognized a lot of the voices. I mean, to be fair, like of course, but yeah, it was cool. I mean, I think the English dub's completely fine. I don't think there's anything wrong with it.
Yeah, I've been watching anime in both. Like I forget which one I did in complete English, but there was an anime that I did watch in English recently, and I was fine. Like it was completely fine. I don't like the way this page is showing. Hold on. Okay, this guy, I know his name is like Taito Ban. Taito Ban is his voice actor when he is an adult, I'm guessing. Let me see if this page shows Deadman, Blue Exorcist, Solo Leveling, Code Geass, Kaiju number 8.
What is he doing Code Geass?
Shota Munemori, which is a character that I do not remember. I don't even know like who that really is. Freeren is a character in here. Is it? I wonder if I'm looking at the child voice actor here. Because like I remember seeing the voice actor in Japanese and thinking, wow, he's done a lot of the characters that I really, really like in other things. He has this really deep ass voice. Is all his voice is so deep and scary sounding in a good way though. He's just like sounds really fucking cool. My point is he literally sounds attractive. Like he sounds attractive.
Yeah.
And he also is visually like six pack. He's super tall too. And his face is like super like chiseled. So I was like, okay, yes, I'm not attracted to anime characters. However, I acknowledge that they clearly right. Which is fine. But I acknowledge that like they clearly wanted him to be attractive in this verse because he's supposed to be the end all be all period, it seems like, in every aspect. He's not just broken fighting, he's also good looking and everything.
He's everything.
So I'm not surprised that the women swoon over him because he's basically like if Michael B. Jordan was a fucking anime character. Is the way women right now in real, like I have women in real life and pretty much every woman I know in real life right now, if they love Michael B. Jordan, the way they talk about him is so fucking just ridiculous. Like he's just not a person, he's objectified.
Oh, they love him. Yeah, no, that's completely accurate. I just wish there was one girl besides his sister that acted like a normal person.
Honestly, even his sister made a comment when she saw him lift up his shirt the one time. Like it was like in season 1. He like he like woke up and like I forget what he did, but he didn't have a shirt. He put one on and like she saw him and she was looking at him and she just made a comment about like his body. And I was like, oh, okay. Like, you know, like obviously you notice if your brother is like, he wasn't fucking tall and skinny with a six pack. And all of a sudden he's like chiseled as fuck. And like, you know, you make a comment like, what the fuck is going on here?
I was laughing when his mom woke up. I was like, that bitch wouldn't even know who she's looking at.
Right. Cause like, he doesn't look like him.
Motherfucker. Dude does not look like who he was.
Yeah. But it's all in the eyes. It's all in the eyes.
It is all in the... No, but yeah.
The women characters are not anything special though.
I did really like that mom scene. And also she probably would recognize, like, even though like the way it's drawn, he doesn't look anything like him in real life. Like, like moms would just like recognize that. Like, there's stories of like a kid getting kidnapped.
Yep.
And it's 15 years later, and like the mom will see, and like it's like that is her fucking kid. Like she ends up.
You have to imagine a mother, like a typical mother. You birth a child, and you are with that child every single fucking day for years, and you're staring at their face, especially when they're a baby and you're just playing with them and you're just loving them, and they're like from ages 0 to like 5, they're in your face Mom, can I have juice? Mom, I want candy. Like, they're in your face. You're seeing, like, your mom has Jaden's face ingrained in her brain. Yeah. And no matter how many changes Jaden goes through, when he grows out facial hair eventually, when he like gets bigger or whatever, like when he's 30 something years old, eventually, she will always just know what he looks like no matter what he does. He could get fucking face tatted. He do whatever he wants. His face is ingrained from a fucking infant. So like, yeah, you're right. In real life, no matter what changes you go through in the gym, your mom will look at you and be like, well, that's my son, Kenny. Like, no matter what you do, you're always going to be, you could gain 300 pounds, you could lose 50 pounds. You're always going to be her Kenny that she probably remembers when you were literally like a baby. So I get that. But yeah, that mom scene, I definitely got a little choked up. I just felt like the energy that they put a lot into that, because you've been wondering how this whole mom thing is going to turn out. And so was he. Yeah.
For me, like, if I had to like rank the best things of the 2 seasons, I think for me, his mom, the whole situation with his mom, and then like just seeing him cry, because seeing him cry, just seeing him break down, and just
finally have a real
situation
moment
with his mom, and having like a real human moment is the best moment. It's the best moment of the 25 episodes for me. And then like him versus Egress is the best fight of the 25 episodes.
You know what I also like about this show? He's self-aware. He's been acknowledging that he's losing a part of himself.
Yeah.
He makes these little comments about how like after he killed people, for example, he was like, he said something to his mom, like, there's some things I couldn't say that are like, there's no going back from. Like, there's no coming back from. Like, she doesn't know everything that's happened to her son and what he's done. And he makes some kind of comment.
Like, he was like super anxious about it. Yeah, he was like sitting there, because he was like sitting in his in the living room, and he was looking at his mom and his sister, and they were like cooking or whatever. And then he was just like really happy that they were like that his mom was alive. But then he was also like, like there was like really terrible in his head. He was like, there was terrible things I had to do to get here.
Yeah, and as he's gotten stronger, he's made comments along the way about how like, I'm becoming kind of desensitized to just my humanity. So seeing him cry definitely did break that stoic, because he's so stoic, bro. He's so calm and
half
collected.
The show is him talking to himself.
Yeah.
So to see him like break down and cry with his mom and like, because it's cool, because it's everything up till now. It's everything that he's been working for. Like, he doesn't care about being rich. He doesn't really care about like status. It was literally to save his mom. Now, something I wonder though is I wonder if the elixir or whatever will give her some immunity, but she, with how strong her son is, she can't be near him. And I don't know if he knows what causes the sleep disease, but like, sure, he saved her. But if how you get the disease is correct, and
that's a good point.
If you have a low magic resistance and you're near people with a lot of mana, or you're near a lot of mana, you get this like sleep disease, and that's what's happening to the rich dad. His mom is cured of it. She woke up, but like her son is so ridiculously powerful that like, unless she's built up an antibody or whatever, or some level of resistance.
I'm scared for the sister now, though. Now that you say that,
yeah, I wonder if that's going to be a plot point where maybe the mom and the sister happens again, and he realizes that like all of the strength that he gained is becoming a burden to the people that are around him.
That would be some good writing, because that means that he would have to remove himself from his family. And that is a difficult thing to do. It's a very hard thing to do, because selfishly you want to be around your family, obviously. But imagine working so hard to bring your mom back, and then you realize that you're the problem and you have to abstain from even being around her.
Yeah. And then, eventually I guess he's going to find out that like his dad is the reason his mom got sick in the first place. Is that going to cause a thing where like him and his dad fight? Does he get mad at his dad? And then like, does he realize, like, wait a second, like I'm also the same problem?
Right. I don't know. I'm probably worse, actually. 2 things I wanted to say. Speaking about like his aura, there was one scene, I think it was season 2. The 2 seasons are blended together for me only because I watched them simultaneously. So I didn't spend a year between the seasons. I watched season 1 and season 2 back to back. So there was a scene where he goes to buy like weapons or some shit, or like artifacts or some wild shit from this guy who has like this beautiful shop.
That was the season.
And I remember the guy was like, well, we have a special clause that if you can break through that magical glass, you can have everything you want. And so Sung said, I don't sense any powerful aura coming from it. And so he just activates his aura, and he goes to like, he makes a movement with his hand. Like he fucking turns his hand into like a fucking blade or some shit. And the glass starts to literally crack because he activated his aura. And the guy was like, no. I was joking. I was
Yeah, he
joking,
was like,
bro.
fucking relax, bro.
But what's funny, and this goes back to the naive thing. This is kind of, I guess, I'm starting to like answer my own question about like how naive he is as a person. He didn't pick up on that being sarcastic.
No.
Like,
no, he
the
was
guy-
about to break that shit.
I picked up on the guy being sarcastic. Like the guy wasn't saying like if you can break it, you can take it. Like that's not what the fuck he was telling. Like no store, like
the song
they're
was like, hey.
right. Like usually it's you break it, you buy it. Sung heard you break it, you take it, and he was about to break it. And it was I just thought it was so cool that he stared at the glass and he turned on his eyes. He was like, "That's funny. I don't sense any special magical aura coming from that glass." And so he was about to fucking just like cut it open, and then he didn't. Thank God.
It was such a rant.
And then he traded like the
yeah.
one. Yeah, he traded like the one artifact, the orb thing or whatever. I think, or he traded something.
No, he didn't trade the orb. So basically,
Because the orb doubles magic, I think. So he's like,
he was looking at like a dagger, and then he was like, "How much is this dagger?" And then the guy was like, "Some absurd amount." And in his head, he was like, "That's about." He was like, "That dagger isn't any stronger than like this other dagger that I use." And then he was just like, he has like random daggers that he got from like the store and the game store, and then so he was like, "How much does this go for?" And they were like, "Oh, fucking $7 million."
Yeah.
And he was like, "All right." And he like went to the bathroom and like I guess got a bunch of daggers out of the store and like sold them.
Yeah, I thought that shit was
Became
so
a
funny.
millionaire real quick.
Yeah, because he's doing random, regular ass things, like just going like when Saitama goes grocery shopping. That shit is so funny to me because he uses coupons. Like Kenny, Saitama uses coupons, bro.
I love Saitama.
Me too.
I love Saitama.
Seeing Saitama shopping is one of my favorite things in life, and seeing Song.
You know what's
Go ahead.
You know what's funny though? Just speaking of Saitama, I don't know if you remember this when One Punch, because I don't think people understood what One Punch Man was, it being a satire, etc.
Yeah.
When One Punch Man came out, I remember when the Deep Sea King was happening, and like the Deep Sea King was beating the shit out of all the heroes, and then One Punch Man like showed up, and it was like the end of an episode, and the internet going ablaze, like, "Oh my god, I can't wait! Like next episode's gonna be so fucking hype. One Punch Man's finally gonna have like a fight." And it's going to be like this crazy thing. And then the next episode, he fucking punches a hole in that man's chest and stops the rain in one punch, and he walks away. And the internet was pissed. They fucking hated it. They're like, "This show sucks. The writing's terrible." Fucking like the internet was pissed. They just hated it. And what's funny to me is that had that happened, because he like posed afterward and everything.
Yeah.
Had that happened today, the internet would have been like, "Oh my god, he's aura farming on God, crazy work."
Now
like,
he's aura farming on God, crazy work.
Like the internet would have been like, "He's so sick, like he's aura farming
Saitama's
all
aura
day."
is next level. All he does
like,
is aura farm.
Because this is before aura farming was a thing.
Yeah.
So everybody hated it. But if it happened today, people would have been like, "Oh my, on God,
His aura's
aura
next
farm,
level.
crazy work." Oh,
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, I just thought that was funny.
That is funny. I love
Because
that.
that's what Sung, every fucking fight is Sung Jinwoo just aura farming.
He really is aura
And,
farming though.
Like, he lets you get, like, he fucking lets people damn near die. Some people die, but he lets people damn near die as he fucking farms his aura, and then he, like, does some cool shit.
One of my favorite aura farming moments, then there's a lot this season because he's God now. One of my favorite aura farming moments was when that human who became Iron was running towards him from behind, and then the elves were in the front. And so he waved his hand and made this gigantic fucking, basically a vision block. So nobody could see what was happening. And then he turned around and the guy's still coming towards him, and he just fucking murders the guy. And then he extracts his soul in the same, like he murders him and extracts his soul in the same instance.
Yep.
And then next thing you know, he just has a shield.
2.
Yes, it's very quick. But that part right there, I was like, when I watched, I was like, "Oh shit!" Because I didn't think he was going to kill that guy. Like I didn't think that guy was going to die like that. He just murdered him. So
he did not.
He was like, "Where did y'all get winter coats from? Y'all don't look hungry. Like y'all look warm and fine. Like how is this possible? It's you. You're the fucking problem." And he comes at Sung Jinwoo. Sung turns around and goes, "You know what? I don't have time for this." And he fucking creates a vision block that so nobody can see what he does, kills the dude, extracts his soul, turns him into a fucking thing, and just uses that thing to fight.
Yeah.
It's really cool. Yeah. I love that. He has so many moments though this season.
And then he I thought it was cool that at the end that he let the cleric go. Like, so the cleric dies, which I mean I knew it was going to happen. But the cleric.
Oh yeah. I also
right. The Black Ant kills the cleric, and like he was retired, and there was all this stuff between him and Piccolo. I don't remember his name.
Yeah, me. I don't know any. To be clear, I only know one person's name. I guess two. I know Biru's name. I think that's his name, the ant. I know Sung Jin-woo and Biru. And the only reason I know Biru is because his name is very close to Beerus. So
yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, the healer, the broken ass healer who said he doesn't want to fight anymore.
Yeah, one of the only S-class healers, I think, in the world.
Yeah.
Because apparently it's rare for an S-class mage to be, or S-class hunter to be a healer.
Yep.
Apparently that's rare. So he's one of the only S-class healers in the world, as far as I understood. And he was really good friends with the wolf guy. And then so he's on the hunt. He like came out of retirement to do this one last hunt to like save the world. And he's there and he's fucking broken. Like he's regrowing limbs and shit. Like people are getting their arms and legs chopped off.
He like literally made someone's whole arm, I think, come back or something.
Yeah, he's just like he's broken and he was like,
they get killed by Biru at one point, and he just like basically like takes their mortal wounds away.
Yeah, people get straight up.
Biru like murders them, like he's invisible because I think the healer's invisible. Biru was just going around killing them, and he's just straight up making them where they don't die. Then Biru eventually realizes like, I can sense you now.
Yeah, and there was one part that has happened a couple times where him or other people kept saying like, as long as I'm here, like you can't kill anyone because I'm the best healer in the world.
Yep.
And he's like, if you want to kill them, you got to kill me first. I was like, can y'all stop telling him how to win? I was like, can y'all just stop for a moment? But anyway, yeah. So the black ant kills the healer, and it's like, oh shit. And then so the girl, I think her name's Cha. I don't know her whole name.
I think her name is Hunter Cha as well.
So she does some crazy ass like asana from Sword Art Online, like fucking Twinkle Step, Super Sword Storm, and like kills the queen. Like after everybody like distracts the queen.
That part was sick, by the way. The way she came in.
1,000 slashes, yeah, and she kills the queen. When the black ant shows up, as I understand it, he can like maybe he smells it, I don't know, but he knows who killed her. He knows who did the finishing kill because when he sees that the queen is dead, he flash steps behind Cha specifically and punches the ever-living dog shit out of her and sends her to the ceiling. And then like he talks his shit and does all this other stuff to other people. But she gets damaged the most. At this point, the healer's dead. No one can help her. Fast forward, Sung is trying to heal her. He gives everybody a potion. It doesn't work on her. He gives her the elixir of life.
That's what I like this part. I love that he gives her the elixir of life so that we can see limitations.
Yeah.
Like, I like this goes back into like the little things like that, because that elixir, he made more than one copy of it. So clearly the writers put that in there for a reason. It's going to be used again, but it can't just be used to full heal anybody.
Yeah. So that doesn't work. And then he gets this idea. I think he said the guy's spirit talked to him from beyond the grave or something. I don't know. But he gets the idea to like arise the healer and then have the healer heal her.
Didn't he give a speech before that? He told him like, what I'm about to do is something that I really don't want the whole world to see. And like,
well, he was like, turn the camera off to the one guy, and the guy was like, what? He's like, turn the camera off, or I'm gonna fucking break it. And he's like, oh yeah, sure.
Yeah,
like turn the camera off. Oh,
and he gives a speech to S rank hunters. I think he tells them like, hey, so
keep this a secret. Like, don't tell anyone about this.
Yeah, and also I think he just kind of says something along the lines of like, this, what I'm doing, I know to y'all is probably like I'm desecrating basically like someone's. But like this is the only way. And he does like he extracts the soul and he uses it to bring her back. And then the one guy steps forward and is like, hey, I know that you're him. But that spirit specifically, like you are, like I acknowledge, like Hunter Bike or whatever, he's like, I know you're him, but that spirit specifically did not want to continue fighting. And I'm just asking you, because I know I can't do anything if you tell me no.
Not only can I not do anything, like no one can. Like there's not a person I know that if we all aura farm together, like none of us can do anything.
Yeah, like I'm asking you out of the kindness of your heart, because that's all I can do. Can you please just let that one spirit go? And like Sung obviously is like, absolutely, like no, like I have no problem with that. I will be fine, even though having that guy,
it would have been broken. So that's what I was going to say. I thought it was really cool that he did let him go and he respected that guy's wishes and like his death and all of that other stuff, because having that broken ass healer as like one of his things he can have is not okay.
Yeah.
That would have been crazy.
Yeah, I like everything about the lore, because they set that up before that guy even died. And I didn't think that guy was going to die, but he was like, I don't want to. No, I did. I remember saying, okay, he had the conversation about how I don't want to fight anymore. And I was like, oh God, that guy's going to die. Yeah, I was like, that guy's going to die. I for whatever reason, I never thought that Sung was going to resurrect him. I'm glad I didn't get spoiled for solo leveling or anything, but it never even crossed my mind that like Sung would use that guy's soul and then heal Cha. I was like, oh god, Cha is like, when he gave her the elixir of life and it didn't work, I was out of options in my head. I had no other.
You're like, well, that's a wrap.
I would have turned around and been like, well, she's dead. Like, shoulder shrug. I mean, obviously, if I'm Sung, I would have been like, oh, there's a fucking S-rank killer here. But yeah, I do like the writing there that he brought that guy back to life. And I was like, oh, that's a way for the guy to live eternally. And they subverted my expectations by not letting him live eternally because he didn't want to keep fighting. And so he released his spirit. He was like, yeah, I can release him. And I can't, like, once I do that, I can't just go behind a corner and, like, bring him back
and get him back.
He can't just go behind a rock and be like, anyway, you're my fucking S-rank healer now. You're going to be in every fight for the next 20 years.
Yeah.
So that was cool.
Yeah, I thought it was cool. I thought it was cool that he did that. It once again, it shows, it just shows like a bit of like humanity.
Yeah, because that is a human thing to do because he could just say no. He could have looked at that guy and said...
He could absolutely say no.
And what's also crazy is this season, he got fucking Sasuke's ability from Naruto. Like, Sasuke's end of series ability, by the way, the one where he can switch places with things.
Yeah.
Sung has that ability now, so he can, like, switch places with any of his fucking shadow clones.
Yeah, and you can't do it like my man Toto, though.
Yeah, Toto does it without even taking mana or anything. Like, it doesn't take anything to do that.
He can do it with his ass. All right.
Yeah, he can clap anything. He can clap anything.
I just love, because there's a fucking scene on the internet where it shows Toto and he has both of his hands occupied. He's like blocking a hit, like he's like blocking an attack, and both of his arms are visible. And then you hear the clap sound, and he like he disappears. And the caption is like, "I still want to know what he clapped."
Oh, I hate the internet, bro. That is so disturbing. That is just the internet.
Oh my god, I was crying.
But yeah, Sung actually does something else cool in this season that I love.
The Shadow Exchange is sick.
The Shadow Exchange is insane. Also, his surveillance ability is insane. He fucking can. Broken. He could. Can he? Okay, so this is why I think Soul Leveling is a good anime. Sure, the storyline right now isn't anything special. Somehow in 2025, they're doing things that I still have not seen or expect to happen in an anime. And some of his abilities, the way he's carrying them out, and I was never ready for him to install fucking surveillance in the people's shadows. That is like for example, when he did it to his sister, he told the two dudes, he was like, I'm leaving to go to the demon world, but while I'm gone, I need y'all to make sure that nothing happens to my sister because she's going to be defenseless while I'm going. Like, I won't be here to protect her. So you two are like around B rank, which should be strong enough to beat literally anybody that would show up. Like, I don't think an S rank is coming here. So like, you're strong enough to deal with anything should anything attack. So he left like 2 B rank dudes there that like the red ogre things. He like left those there. He goes to the demon world. But then when the dudes go to Jeju Island, he's not completely oblivious that things could go wrong. He fucking put in every S rank's shadows that he likes, the ones that he likes anyway. He fucking puts shadows, like his shadow army, into their shadow. And so when they're like losing and stuff, fucking demon, like the shadows come out and they just start defending and fighting. And that to me, like him doing that surveillance, like he said he has shit all over the neighborhood. Apparently he has like a whole surveillance squad in his hometown now, just checking for local crime.
In the hood.
Yeah, like, you know what I mean? If you just do local crime, Sung Jin-woo Shadow Army will take you out. I just think that's so dope. Like, it's such a dope thing. Like, you have so many, and you can be anywhere. He has a lot. He is broken in every way. I wonder if like, I don't know where it goes, but I do hope eventually I get some, like, I want him to struggle at some point. I do want him to like get in some fights where he struggles, but I understand, like, One Punch Man's never going to struggle. Don't
like,
hold your breath.
Saitama's never going to struggle. But in the case of Saitama, it's, like, not serious.
Yeah.
So that's why only
Saitama doesn't have a mom that he had to resurrect.
Yeah. Saitama, he's literally just worried about getting cute on Saturday.
I don't think he cried. He has never cried.
So he probably cried because I think he cried when he missed a sale. Yeah. There was a sale at the supermarket and he missed it. But no, I mean, he probably isn't ever going to have an actual fight. Yeah, but like we're probably wrong about that. I just want him to struggle one more, because like he struggled at first when he was a bum. Yep. I just want him to struggle one more time. Because the struggle does make things interesting, and I will say to me and to you, I'll speak for you, the Beru fight, because it didn't really have stakes. When it was resolved and it was resolved pretty fast, I didn't really feel the same thing I felt when he got Igris. First of all, even the extraction for Igris's soul
had stakes to
It
it.
was hype. He fouled it twice, I think.
Yes.
And then like
He got on the last one. He gave a speech
like,
though, bro. He gave a fucking speech.
Yeah.
Like, you fought. You've
Yeah.
defended an empty throne for the last 100 years. Come fight for a real king. Like, that shit.
Yeah. That shit was so. That's the thing. And so I'm not saying this to like hate or anything. It's that in the 25 episodes, my favorite fight is the Egress fight. I think the Egress fight it was the most well animated. It was the most well animated. Might not be the best word. But it's the most well choreographed.
Definitely best choreographed.
I don't know if animated is correct.
Yeah, I don't know.
Choreographed, certainly. And it had stakes. It was interesting, and he struggled. And so, like, like, for example, spoilers for My Hero, but like All Might and All for One, like part of what makes it so memorable is the struggle, like everything that goes into it. So all I'm saying is that if I get 5 seasons later and I never see him struggle again, like, I don't know how much I'm going to care about anything.
I was about to say that if every single fight looks like season 2, then it will be boring. There will be a point where, because like you'll never believe that anybody could ever take him. And so sure, maybe it's okay for season 2 to be like that. But now they introduced, again, those blue people. And then they also introduced the national rank hunters. And then his dad's in the picture as well. I thought he was struggling with the Demon King. But once he said, I needed to get him off that mount, and he threw the fucking dagger and beheaded the fucking dragon, when the Demon King came down and he started doing a lightning attack and killing all of Sung's army, I was like, okay, maybe this is going to be a fight. And then Sung uppercutted him, and then there was no fight. Like, the biggest shit out of him. The biggest part of that entire thing was, I need to get him off the mount. And like he did have to figure out a way to do it. But then when he threw the dagger and the thing got beheaded and it fell to the ground, and then the Demon King was like, motherfucker. It just started going thunder crazy. Sung just slid in and fucking uppercutted, and I love the animation on that uppercut.
The uppercut was crazy.
The uppercut
was like a nuke. It had a mushroom cloud.
It did.
He literally uppercutted a mushroom cloud.
It was
like,
dope.
What is happening?
That was a good fight as well. Like, that fight was amazing looking. But
I mean, he struggled in that fight. He struggled in that fight more than he struggled with the Black Ant.
Yeah, for sure. And I thought it was cool because there was a point where I thought, you're fighting the fucking king of this place that has all these crazy enemies. This guy's going to be the real deal. And to a degree, he was, but then he just also got, at the end, he just got uppercutted and died. He got his arms ripped off, I think, too. So it was like, okay, no real thing there. And then right after that, he kills Beerus. So I was like, when people were going crazy about the Beerus thing, I was like, we just saw him 3 episodes ago fight the absolute Demon King. The king of this, like, the girl who's Demon King's daughter, or one of, like, not daughter, but she's like, I don't know, she's somebody's daughter. She was saying, bro, I don't know if you're going to be able to really do this. Like, you're about to go against the king. And then he zero diffs him, and then he zero diffs Beerus. And I'm like, I don't see why everyone's so hyped. It looked, sure, what he did to Beerus looked cool. Like, he chased him down, he got unlocked new skill, mutilate. And he mutilates him and everything. And then I think Beerus did like, because Beerus, he eats things. They don't tell you this in the anime really, but Beerus eats people and gains their abilities.
Yeah, it's talked about very briefly, because like he eats the queen when he finds the queen dead. He like eats a portion of her, and then I think it doesn't become clear in the anime. I don't know if it's like talked about more in the manga. It doesn't become clear until Beerus running for his life. Yeah, there's a part where like
he uses the ice,
where he's just like monologuing about how he's the perfect being and he was born to like kill everyone, and that but there's a line in there where he says like, anything I consume, I gain its powers. And there's a part where like I think he learned how to talk because he ate the head.
He did learn how to talk.
The healer, when the healer was talking, and then he ate his head while he was talking, and that's how he learned how to talk.
Yeah,
as far as I understand.
Yep, he didn't talk until then. So Beerus, the fight, like, it had a lot of cool parts in it, whatever like that, but it resolved really quickly, and they didn't really explain too much about his ability, so I didn't really understand what was happening. When I first watched him, when he used the ice ability and when he healed himself, I didn't put 2 and 2 together, and because everything happened so fast. So I didn't put 2 and 2 together and say, oh shit, he's using abilities of people that he previously killed and ate.
Mm-hmm.
I've been watching this channel when I watch Solo Leveling that literally says everything that they left out of the anime in Solo Leveling. And so literally the guy has read all the manhwa and he's like a super fan of the manhwa. He knows every single nook and cranny of it. So it's just a channel where the guy specifically only talks about Solo Leveling, as far as I know. And he literally does in the anime, Song fights against Beerus and this happened. In the manhwa, like, it's very explicitly said that when he eats, he gains the ability, and there's a panel where he shows off an ability before the fight with Sung Jinwoo. So you get to see it more clear than just like when he's trying to fly for his life, like get away.
Yeah.
So I've been watching that channel. That's kind of how I know that they didn't make as big of a point of it as they did in the manhwa or whatever, because of that channel. I really like that channel too. The guy does a really good job. So I'm kind of getting like I'm basically getting the full story without having to read the manhwa.
You're
because,
seeing like the things that you missed that weren't in the anime.
Yeah, some things bigger than others, but for the most part, it's the same story, like for the most part. But there are things that obviously the manhwa is going to elaborate on way more than the anime has. When you're just adapting that many chapters into a season, a 12-episode season, when you're adapting like 40 chapters or whatever, shit is going to get cut out. Some of it is going to be more important to certain people, and certain parts of it are like, I'm glad they cut that out for whatever, whatever. But yeah, I mean, season 2, it was good. Like, it was a good watch. It was a very good watch. It's a very easy watch. That's what I like about Solo Leveling too. It's a very easy thing to watch. Like, you just kind of binge it. You see ridiculous shit happening on screen. You're like, for me, like I said, a lot of it is eye porn. A lot of it is just like, oh my God, like that was not okay. Like that uppercut on the Demon King, like the fight against Igris, I like the Ice Elf fight a lot. Just the choreography of that fight is just really cool to me.
The Ice Elf fight is cool. Yeah. It's like episode 2 of season 2.
Yeah. And I like the Ice Elf saying like, you can understand us. He's like, you can understand our language. Cause he's like, humans usually can't understand when we speak.
Yeah. That's another thing. So, and I hope it gets like, and obviously it's in the show and they're aware of it, but so it's becoming more clear that a lot of these demons or whatever are like, they have like a creator or a master that's like giving them directives.
Right.
And so they have like these directives, and then there's like the blue guy and the other guy at the end of the season that were able to go through gates. And then there's the fact that he has the system. And I really want to know what the actual connection with all of this is and how because at the end of the day, like he has an ability that is designed like a video game.
Yeah.
But then on top of that, if you notice, the way power levels are described are E through S, and that's how the video game describes things as well. When he gets an item, it's a B rank item, an A rank item, an S rank item. The equipment that he gets and the things that are in his system are ranked E to S as well, just like how hunters are. And so my point is, to my understanding, the system, it was created by someone, maybe not the same person that is creating all these monsters, but someone related. Because the other thing is like the one blue guy, when he's talking to the other guy, he's like, do you sense his power? And it's like, yeah, I do sense his power. The only question is, why would he give his power to someone else?
Oh,
which, as far as I'm putting it together,
that's huge.
Yeah, there's like a person who we don't know of, and I'm assuming what they're saying is that like this person, they were able to sense residuals of his power, and I'm assuming that is from Sung Jin Woo, and so Sung Jin Woo has the power of like this other guy that these people know of.
That's huge.
Yeah.
You just reminded me of that. You also reminded me of something else. There's a point where he starts questioning like the demons or orcs or whatever, and he's like, why are you doing this? And they say to him, I'm not really sure. There's just an innate calling in my head to kill all humans. Like, I don't know what is making me feel this way. Like, they blatantly tell him, like, I don't really know. Like, no one gave me the command to kill all humans, but there's like this natural thing in my head telling me to kill all humans when I see them. Like, I naturally want to kill all of you. That is a very interesting thing for them to say like that, because it sounds like there is also another thing that's commanding all of these things in the portals and these alternate universes to just like attack people. Like, why are y'all doing this?
Yeah. And like the demon girl, like the fucking cute demon girl that tried to kill him and stuff, who was also kind of dressed like Igris at first when like she had all of her armor on.
Yeah.
But anyway, he asked her that when he was like, do you have like a voice in your head telling you to kill all humans? She was like, no. She was like, there is like a random voice in my head, but it commands me to protect this place at all costs.
Whoa,
like, I don't know why the voice is in my head. I don't know where.
Protect this place at all costs. Interesting.
Yeah. And so she was like, but like she was like, yeah, like I have that. So there's clearly like a creator of so like he has like a system, like he has like a power that is a video game system. But then on top of that, the entire world is being affected like a video game, and there's like a game master doing
or several.
Something. Yeah, or several.
Right. There's probably gods or something like that.
Yeah.
Like literally God. Because I still think about episode 1. Now that we're talking about this discussion, we're going to wrap up here. But there's gods, or what appears to be gods. There was that whole thing when he went to the secret dungeon in episode 1, and the thing read like something about don't turn your back on the gods and all the stuff about the gods, give prey to the gods. A lot of it was about worshiping the gods. Worshiping the gods or die. It says something like that. Like the paraphrase. When he first went there, he read that, and then the guy tried to leave, and he turned his back on the gods. He tried to leave, and he fucking got cut in half.
Yep.
And then, you know, so now that I'm thinking about it, there definitely is something about like the gods that started this whole thing kicked off from that dungeon, that secret dungeon that he had to literally give blood to or something like that to hold the door open.
Assumedly, like maybe that's so when they're saying like, oh, do you sense his power? Like, yeah, why would he give his power to like someone else? Like, my guess is now I don't know if it's because it was the lighting in the room or if it's because it was a statue. I don't know, but I recall that thing being blue. In episode 1, the thing that he ends up getting his power from, when he dies, and it's like, you know, do you want to start a new game? I recall that thing being blue. It could have been the lighting or whatever. Maybe it wasn't blue. I don't know. But anyway, when the blue guy at the end says like, do you sense his power? Why would he give his power to someone else? I assume he's talking about like those gods or like those things that were in that chamber in episode 1.
Because
and
it's not
that's
like
like an
they
actual character or a god that is going to come back at some point.
The main one that I think about is the one that smiled, the pharaoh looking one, the mummy looking one. That smile, episode 1, because this is when I didn't know what soul leveling was. I went into soul leveling completely blind. No one told me a single thing about it. They just told me you need to watch it. So when I watched episode 1, I had no idea how dark it was going to be or anything like that. No premise of it at all. So when they started getting murdered like that, and when I saw the smile on that one fucking statue thing, like that smile is still, it's like a Titan smile. It's all teeth.
Yeah. It's definitely like, a Titan smile.
It's a Titan smile. That's all you know what I mean when I say that. Yeah, there might be something bigger at play. Now that you're reminding me of little things that I didn't write down in my notes here about like those blue people talking about his, like, did he give him his power or whatever? Do you sense his power? And then him literally asking the demons and orcs and all those people like, why are y'all doing this? Like, why do y'all attack us? Like, let's get down to the root problem. What do we do? It's like, there's just a voice in my head telling me to kill you, bro. I don't I'm not, if I could choose to not attack you, knowing what I know now, I wouldn't.
I wouldn't. You know what I mean? I ain't got no beef.
I have no beef.
I don't have a choice.
You're him. So anyway, I don't really have anything else. Like, I pretty much feel like we covered most of the talking points on Soul Leveling Season 2.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think there's anything else.
Well, all right. Tom, we can wrap
like,
this
it's not
up.
like there's not like really deep, intricate things to it. Like, we talked about everything. We talked about everything. And then we talked about other stuff too. Like, I don't know if there's anything we missed.
Yeah, I was only saying that because I know sometimes you come with shit that I don't like. The 2 things you just said at the end there, I did not remember or have in my notes.
Yeah, I mean, I think we covered everything.
I think we did too. So, all right, we can wrap this one up, guys. I hope you enjoyed this episode of the IMNerd podcast. As always, you know, do the things that make you happy, including enjoying soul leveling. Let me give a shout out to the people on our party member or higher tier. So we have Konami is the internet explorer of listening to fans. Definitely,
that's crazy.
Definitely the internet explorer of listening to fans, because it took them literally basically a boycott. People were ready to boycott Konami. And it took all of that hoopla for them to give us now we got top 16 at Ultimate Time Wizards. We've been begging for that for literally 2 years. All of a sudden now on Nationals, they announced the Ultimate Time Wizard, which was not scheduled, which is super awkward because RBT is already happening. So now it's like people are like trying to get their money back for the RBT, but RBT is not refundable. It's just messy. It's so messy that they scheduled an event now that they did not have an event. And they scheduled one I think they did shit on purpose. So messy, but Internet Explorer, they finally listened, giving us top 16. They reverted Edison back to real Edison, but it just doesn't feel right now. It just doesn't. It's like you pulled the gun on me, and I told you it was okay, but I never forgot that you pulled the gun on me.
Yeah.
like if you ever pulled the gun on, like, you know what I mean, Kenny? Like, if you ever pull a gun on somebody, they might tell you like, nah, bro, it's water under the bridge. We're cool now, but they will hopefully never forget. Like, bro, you pulled the gun. Yeah,
you do some foul shit, and you're like, oh, it's cool. And like, but you never forget that person did some foul shit. You're like, man, I don't know. Like, yeah, like I'd never leave him alone with my girl.
Exactly. Exactly. Kenny can speak to this from personal experience. Anyway,
you know what I mean?
Moving on.
Y'all motherfuckers are crazy.
Nova Leo, stand ready for my arrival worm. Xavier Swift, this ain't God, this is Stanley Earl, the Sultan of Slot, the Sung Jinwoo of Yu-Gi-Oh!, Andre Reynolds, Vincenzo, Dallas Bailey, KJ, How Much Meter You Got, Sarah Maria, Alex Ahern, FC Campa, Traveler of the Burning Abyss, Gores in My Prison Pocket, Sugal, Vicky Venomon, Elijah Barfoth, Tyler Tadeo, Volvi the Mega Monarch, Gather Up All the Crew, The Time to Ship Out Binks Brew, Sea Wind Blows to Where Who Knows, The Waves Will Be Our Guide. Love that.
That's right.
Janitor 215, Thomas Rue, Joshua Carroll, Eric Chai, Brian Moore. This ain't God, this is City Councilman Eric Mays. And then we have
Tim Bailey at home with the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Majin Labubu, B-Dog 23. Yo ho ho ho. Yo ho ho. Clearly y'all are syncing things up again.
Yes.
Clearly there's like a sync up going on.
There's something happening. I love it.
In Poyster, Tyler Frazier, Sasha Egger, Daniel Anderson, Deroa, Chicken Toast Strudel, Jordan Eastman, Robert Light, Clanger, Harsh Kumar, ST19, Gregory Kalmaring. That Time Wizard backpedal, though, Mike and John, Frago, Anthony Japov, Michael Zank, Tyler, Chris Louie, Bob Cuddy, Luis Juarez, The Hopeless One, Nicholas Cook, and Zuku Senryu.
Shout out to everybody, especially Zuku Senryu and Nicholas Cook. I think these are the two newest that we've added to the Patreon. I know Zuku added today. He's in the main character tier. So shout out to you, Zuku. We appreciate it.
I wonder why. Maybe Zuku knows about that main character tier tournament that's coming up.
Party member.
Maybe. Or, yeah, party member. Member tournament.
Yes.
But he was like, I'm the main character.
Right. So
I'm winning.
The tournament, the 1K will be for everybody at the party member tier or higher. So if you're in the main character tier, you obviously also can play in that tournament. And that tournament is going to be $1,000 prize. So yeah, we're gonna, like I said, Kenny and I are gonna make an official video announcement. Nothing fancy, but just to kind of lay it out for everyone. Because right now, the only people who know about it are the people who listen to the podcast. But yeah, it's a 1K. You have to be on our Patreon at the party member or higher tier. So it's a tournament. It's literally a $1,000 tournament for people who are at the party member or higher tier. The tiers that are higher than party member are main character, optional boss, and obviously like mods, but those are the ones that are higher. So if you're an NPC, you can just upgrade to party member for that tournament basically. That's an option. If you're in a free tier, what are you doing? Also join the party member tier, and also get an invite to the Discord. If you're in the free tier, get an invite to the Discord server, because if you're in the free tier, you don't have an invite. So anyways,
hell yeah.
Guys, we appreciate you. We'll catch you in the next one. Peace.